Hello, guys, and welcome back to YAP2ASIA. We're back with our 11th YAP episode. And of course, today we have a special guest as well. Recently, he's been a bit of a model. He's been streaming here and there, but of course, you've seen him before on Paperworks. We've got Benkai today. Everybody say hi.
Hello,
Yo,
everyone.
yo.
What's up, buddy?
He kind of looks like Nick Hill to me. I mean, I mentioned this already with it, with the camera angle. But yeah, screwing out facial hair, really nice, really nice. I also got to
Thank
point
you,
out
thank
the
you.
Shrek pillow in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's everyone been up to? Clinton, yeah, why don't we start with you?
Not a lot. Just casting VCT and getting ready to do some travel, and yeah, that's about it. I've got a lot of traveling coming up, so it's gonna be an interesting time the next couple months.
A lot. It's
A
yeah,
lot.
it's work season for us, I guess. That's
Yeah,
kind of how it's been. Weather's also getting warmer, but yeah,
it is warm today. Yeah.
enjoyable. How about you, Nico? What's up with you?
Well, as of last night, apparently Oblivion remastered. You know,
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
they hot dropped that. Nobody expected it, so that's what's been keeping me up for the past morning. For the most part. But yeah, VCT games. I mean, we somehow lit a fire, I guess, after the last episode.
We're taking credit for that. We're taking credit for the Team Secret win. Yeah.
That definitely did happen. But of course, we gotta ask our esteemed guest, Benkai. How have you been? What has life been like now?
It's been really chill. I have a crippling addiction to Minecraft in the last few weeks.
Minecraft.
Because
Okay.
of the movie, or
Yeah,
like
both.
Did you watch the movie?
I did. It was enjoyable, to be honest.
Can we get the Benkai
Other
movie
than the,
review?
it's just a good family movie. I didn't really expect any like insane like Christopher Nolan level of directing, but yeah, I just watched it because I like Jack Black. He's funny
yeah.
What was
because
it
of all
like
the
in
memes surrounding it.
the memes, right? In the
Yeah.
theater, just especially you're watching from Singapore. Were the kids like going crazy or anything?
Yeah, I just had another bunch of like degenerate secondary school kids just like screaming when all the meme quotes came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
It's
was fun,
pretty.
enjoyable.
It's really interesting how when you're watching that movie in theater, like probably half of the audience wasn't even born when the
Right.
game came out,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah.
That
There's like a guy behind me that was I'm pretty sure that was like 50 years old though. And he was alone.
okay.
Like what are you doing, man?
He's entertained. He's being entertained.
That's fine, that's fine.
But yeah, all the kids these days. What's up with the tung 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 sahur
It's
and all
Italian
that?
brain rot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's
It's
happening
just
everywhere.
it's just when like two objects or living things combine into one thing that rhymes together. Yeah, so
Bombardino.
everything I tralalero tralalero tralala is a shark that wears Nikes.
What? I am too old.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about right now.
I mean
Maybe shortly.
if you're chronically on TikTok then you would know.
But yeah, same here. Kind of busy with like Clinton, working along, and yeah, the weather is getting warmer, so that's that's what I've been up to. I am quack. But yeah, so let's get into it. Right, we've got Ben here, and really interested. Well, the very first question we have is your jersey number. Why is it 69?
Why not?
we need. Yeah.
Great answer.
I like it. I like it.
I thought it would be
Is that what you
funny.
thought? Really, just
It's
they
just
asked
like
you for your
funny.
jersey
it's
number.
just like childish fun,
Yeah.
Very yeah,
Cool.
extremely childish fun. And at the time it was like no one else had that number, so I just took it, And I feel like I've immortalized that jersey number. I haven't seen anyone else with like that number since.
That is
So
true. Do they
They
not
should.
allow like 3 digits so you can't do 420?
I think at the time, PaperX was still a startup company and they didn't have the funds to afford an extra number.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have 5 digits, man. I would have definitely been like 42069 if I had the facilities for that. But unfortunately, I didn't at the time.
Nice. Okay.
They should retire the jersey, to be honest.
Yeah.
You gotta have it framed up somewhere.
Put in the
With the signature.
rafters above.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like that. Let's do it in Pacific. Let's do it.
Yeah.
nice. Trophy room. But yeah, so that leads us into the whole thing, how you got started in esports, especially in Singapore. I think it's quite interesting. But yeah, your first appearance was Insidious Gaming, was it? With Splash?
But let me
How did
sidetrack a bit. Don't I look fucking jacked in this photo? Damn.
You do. You
Real?
do. There
You
could be
did
like
look
a
very different in the past also, so that's like a full
The
transformation
hair.
growth
It's
journey.
hair theory.
Yeah. Was it before NS?
This was directly after.
This is
Yeah, it was
directly
like
after. So it's a jar head kind of haircut.
it's like the easiest to maintain. I feel like I don't even need to put effort into it. I just take a shower and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, grow it out. I'm older
Style a
now.
little bit more. I've been seeing
Yeah.
your outfits on Instagram. It's legit, dude. Nice.
Thank you. That's all the doing of my fiance.
of course.
Yep.
It's been a whole ride. But yes, let's bring us back to like how everything started. How did you get into competing in like CS even?
Ooh, at the start, it was my friends that. So last time I used to play Call of Duty a lot. That's the game that I started with, and then the group of friends that I made over there, like we stopped playing, and then a bunch of people moved over to CS and asked me to try. So I just decided to like play along with them for a bit, and I was just playing matchmaking a lot. And at the time, Dreamscape was like the best team in Singapore, and one
Yeah.
of the players just randomly like noticed me in matchmaking. So I thought it was like I think it's just super. I would say a lot of luck went into it because that kind of thing is just unheard of now, right? Like you
Mm.
just, I mean, you do have people that just randomly come out of like ranked.
Yep.
But back in the
Uh-huh.
day, it was really like not a thing. So I think I got really lucky there, and then my very first team was already the one that was currently the best in Singapore.
What's
So
it's
I
also
just
because Singapore.
yeah, because Singapore is also so small, right? So and yeah, I just like went along with that. I never left the team, and I just kept playing until I got my first like pro like I'll consider it a pro contract because I was getting a salary, right? So
Mm.
I just stuck with Dreamscape, and then we got picked up by a Chinese organization called Boot,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's just basically my career in CS. After that, the core of Boot split off because I had to go to national service. I had to do like my military training and stuff. And during that time, Paper Rex was formed. And then after I finished my military service, Paper Rex asked me to come back to play for their CS team. Yeah, so that's pretty much the story of how I got into Paper Rex.
So wait, how old were you when you like first joined Dreamscape then?
Oh my god.
High school?
I must have been 17 or 18.
Okay.
That was like almost 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
So
How
you
old are you
started.
now? Are you allowed to say that?
Why do we? I'm pretty sure we're at the same age,
I
Kentro.
think we are actually.
Both born in 96, right? So I'm
Yeah.
29 this year.
Oh,
Oh,
96
it's
Club.
like a whole decade,
Yeah.
dude.
God, you're all a
Dude,
bunch of babies. Jesus.
me and Quack went to the same high school and we didn't even know.
Yeah,
Really?
actually, that was the thing.
Oh.
Never bumped into each other or anything.
Did you
I had
got
no
you guys
idea.
never knew each other?
No.
Oh, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Different classes the whole time.
But you like even in like
yeah.
your gaming circles or like
I didn't have a circle to be honest. That's
Oh.
kind of the thing.
quack.
But yeah, I mean, had I known, I've been like geeking out at some point. But yeah, It's
Had
like
you known what?
CS.
Like, oh, this dude is Benkai, the guy.
A little bit. I mean, like, back then I was just kind of following like the majors, like Ninjas in Pajamas and stuff like that for CS:GO. I had no idea that we had a scene in Singapore, and had I known that it was this guy who has like just right under my nose the whole time, that'd have been a bit of a shocker for me.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. It's like during the time where we were still in high school, it was extremely obscure, man, to like be doing
Yeah,
this. Yeah, like
and
no one
most
would
people
Yeah.
know.
they were playing like other games. It's like Dota and stuff. That's what people were
Oh.
into.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole kind of strange thing about Singapore sometimes. But yes, so this is how you kind of got to Paper X. It's been like almost 10 years now, until like where you are now. But also for like Paper X to go from CS to Valorant, like that's kind of interesting as well. Right? How did you guys make that decision? Was it a tough decision?
Uh, I remember it was the last tournament we played in CS was Extreme Slam. I think it was
Was
during
it in China?
no, that was during it was during COVID times, so
Oh, right.
it had to be held online. And I think right before that, management gave us some pressure of like we have to win something soon. If not, I mean, if I can't really remember what they said. It was either if not, we'll fire all of you, or
Whoa.
Crazy.
nah, I don't think it was down that line. But it was basically they proposed to us switching to Valorant like a bit before we won Extreme Slam, and then we just wanted to like play out this tournament first. And at the time, we were kind of reluctant because we saw the game and was like, I don't, we didn't see the appeal.
Right, coming from CS.
Yeah. So after we won Extreme Slam, we kind of already felt that the scene in Asia for CS was pretty much already dead, especially with COVID. There's nothing to play for. So I just went up to the team, and it didn't even come out as like a serious topic. I just nonchalantly we just went like, "Hey guys, switch to Val."
Kind of like as a joke almost.
Yeah. Then suddenly everyone was like, "Oh fuck, you're right, huh? Let's just, let's just go."
Who was on the team then?
I think we
It
have an
was
image with it.
it was me, Davai. Alex was already the coach at the time. Me, Davai, Tommy,
Tommy
uh
was playing.
yeah,
Mm.
Forsaken and Mindfreak.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Holy
Wasn't
I
crap.
think
there
this
a
was the lineup at the
Paper
time.
X like Valorant team even before this that you guys like, let them go?
Yes, but I can't remember why they were let go. I don't really remember them. I know that
Oh,
I'm sure there's a reason somewhere.
that was the one when Josh was JD
Yeah,
Faker
JD
was
Faker
playing
was on
another
it.
team.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. Okay, no, I know. The one of the members in the first iteration of Paper X Valorant was in a scandal for throwing games.
Is it
Ooh.
the oh my god. Oh, wait. I forgot his name, but I kind of know what you're talking about.
Right? Yeah. I think that was the reason that they were let go. And then coincidentally at the time, once they were let go, the position for the Val team opened up. So it was like almost perfect timing to switch.
Full transition. Perfect.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then everything worked out from that point forward.
Yeah.
I
I mean
can't believe you.
it was a tough grind at the start because we had to play catch up with the region because Val has really been out for a bit. So we had to learn.
That is
And what
true. I
was
think
it like learning? Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Ah, it wasn't too bad. Like at the start we were just copying like what the other top teams at the time were doing, like seeing how they played the game and tried to like add some of our own ideas into it. I think that's how we came up with the what was that? we first came up with a no duelist setup on Ascent. At the time, Astra was extremely broken. So we did like the combo of the Sage Slow with the Astra Suck and a Breach Blast, and we almost got kills every time we did that combo on like the on like that tiles area on Ascent. Yeah. So that's how we just learned what worked from there and whatnot.
Did your like training regimen change when the swap from CS to Valorant? Like, do you guys start doing things differently, or just brought over like the same ideas?
Ah, I think we just brought over pretty much the same way that we were training in CS. Like the structure of it. Like we still did theory, we still did like VOD reviews, and then we still did server time and we would go in and like experiment with things. Yeah, so we pretty much had the same blueprint coming over from CS.
Cool.
Nice.
And
Very good.
what I mean, this is just for me being curious. What was Alex? I mean, everyone knows Alex. Oh, he smashes the desk a lot now and everything. But what was he like initially as a coach when you guys were still relatively unknown? You know, playing APAC when like Black and Blue was casting those games.
He definitely doesn't rage as much as everyone sees now. I think because back then the stakes aren't so high. Like ever since the league was introduced, I feel like your position on a team kind of it's more fragile. So I feel like that induces like stress a lot more in teams and like their players and coaches. So back then it was they didn't have this league system, right? It was just play the challengers and whoever is top 1 or 2 goes to masters. It was that simple. So I feel like we didn't really have that much pressure last time. So I think that's why he was like a bit more relaxed. Can't say the same
Right.
for now though.
Yeah, there's so much pressure. It's crazy, and there's so many more fans, which is also kind of a blessing at the same time. But I guess sometimes it's a curse as well, depending on how the fans.
Fans will
But
always
yeah,
be a double-edged sword, man.
Yep.
yeah, that's how it is sometimes. How it be. So if the fans are watching out there, please be nicer. Like the players would appreciate the support. Alex would for sure as well. But you know, it's the whole thing. But that does kind of bring us to your first like Valorant international appearance. That was always. I mean, I'm kind of gonna remember that. Like, was that when Shiba was on the team,
Yeah. Yep.
right? And
Berlin.
Reykjavik was it, or was it Berlin?
No,
Berlin.
it's Berlin.
Yeah,
Berlin.
Berlin was the
There we
first
go.
one that we've been to. Yeah, that was the one that
Qualifying, going there. How was it?
I don't even. Oh, yeah. This is when I did this thing.
Oh yeah.
喂，会
I
会
remember.
讲中文吗？我不，
Dude, you made them
no, I'm
so
just kidding. I can speak English. Okay, so yeah, so when we
What a
found out,
troll.
Dude, there's no way that everyone there doesn't know that a Singaporean can speak English.
I guess they just assume that you never know. Sometimes people from Asia.
I'm the least Chinese looking person there, man. Come on.
But they still thought. Oh my god.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I swear
I-
doing this was just everything like remotely funny that I did during VCT is literally me having impulsive thoughts but actually acting on it. It's like
That's
what
what
I
everyone
think.
should do.
It's like whatever I thought would be funny in that moment, I just did it.
I mean, you
That's-
were like the original jokester, the VCT, even back then, like with the walkouts and all that.
Full memester. What was it?
Who's
Okay, yeah, let's take a look at the walkouts.
Yeah. How did you cook this one up?
I don't know, man. I just thought it'd be funny to have two jerseys. To be wearing two jerseys.
Just slamming on the ground as well. I think that's the cherry on top.
Man, that's funny. So you guys played Vision Strikers your first time. Were you guys like scrimming them a lot back in the day, or was that kind of not happening yet?
At the time, not as much. I think. Wait, let me try and remember. No. I think we were scrimming them quite a lot because at that time they were like the undisputed best team in Asia, right? So we wanted to learn as much as we can from playing with them. So we did scrim them a lot up to this point. A lot of the things that we learned, we actually picked up from them initially.
Cool, yeah.
I
That's
mean,
like,
Yeah, and then this just became a whole meme, right? Like us somehow playing Vision Strikers like every single time at a international, we'll somehow get them in the first round.
Every time.
Mhm.
And then it became EDG eventually.
yeah.
Once EDG started showing up.
Mm.
all of these things happen. I'm getting like a whole, I don't know about you guys, but like a whole flood back of nostalgia of like Ben's jokes and stuff. There was that one animated piece where he was talking about how, like, because you had a stipend, you had like an allowance, and you ordered cheesecake too. Was it Jason's room? I think.
Yeah, so whenever you go to these events, right, it gives like every team, or rather every player has like a budget for how much they can order from room service. And during Berlin, I felt that the budget was like more than enough. I could eat my fill and still have like quite a bit left over. So that's how I spend the rest of the money, like the daily allowance. Just ordering a fuck ton of desserts to Forsaken.
And you had like a phone call, and you trolled him with the,
Mm.
yeah, those are the days. I mean, I feel like you brought a certain kind of chemistry, like a certain vibe to the team back then. Because if not for that, everyone might have been quite like awkward first time meeting each other, stuff like that. So yeah, it's magical.
All right. It was your first time meeting each other, right? Like IRL for most of the team.
Mm, I would say yes. Yeah. Like when we're still playing CS together, we've never like met each other in real life. It was until like up to this point that we actually saw each other in real life for the first time.
Yeah, because you guys weren't boot camped, right? Like throughout the
That's
earlier like
right, any game
challengers,
was.
you guys were just
No, yeah.
online. It's
This
crazy.
is fully online.
It's the whole COVID era, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
now
the
we've got
COVID era.
Yeah, it's crazy.
walkout.
COVID was 5 years ago.
That's nuts.
Oh my
What
god.
do you have any memories from that Masters Berlin like that stand out, or like any like moments that kind of feel special to you now?
Uh, I could say that for like literally every single thing that I did that was funny. You know what I mean? Because it kind of built this um character that I wanted as someone that's like wasn't too serious, didn't really I just kind of built that whole identity around the team. And I always thought that was something that I'll always be proud of, I think. Like giving
Sure.
that identity of PaperX being like a fun team in general. Like fun to watch, fun outside the game. Yeah.
And able to play as well. I remember like you were kind of like designated as the IGL back then, and then all the crazy strats, and on top of the walkouts, and the way that you guys played, even like that's why people are such big fans of Paper X these days. I think it's all because of like every moment that was created together back then. Like, yeah, all the walkouts that you had. Did you have any one favorite walkout out of everything that you've done?
Oh, the favorite one. Probably the Viking one in Iceland.
There.
The whole
Uh,
getup.
I felt that it was the most appropriate for the place we were in. It
True.
just really fit like the whole
right there.
Vibe of the event.
Just awkwardly staring at the next guy.
Was that RB next to you there? Was it?
I
Looked
think
like
so,
no,
yeah.
He
Yeah.
just didn't even acknowledge you, dude. He's just like, I don't know. Like, I
He
gotta
just
get out of
doesn't
here.
know what to do
Yeah.
about
Who is this?
He walked first.
it. He didn't even look at you, bro.
I want the stand
Oh
on me.
man,
I could feel the social anxiety radiating off of his skin.
you got into his head. That's why.
That's
Oh
so
my
good.
god.
I
You guys-
asked the makeup people to put like to make my face look dirty, and I had to play with that for the entire match.
Stuff like that. Do
I
you
think it was
guys
the
like?
same.
Did you have one
Sorry.
with like you're brushing your teeth and all? And did you actually have toothpaste in that?
Oh
Like
yeah.
like there, bathrobe, the bathrobe one. Did you actually have toothpaste in that, or was it just a toothbrush?
Oh, it's real. Look, you can actually see like my mouth foaming with toothpaste.
The facial expression, everything. You swallowed it, didn't you? Like after.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna spit on the stage, man. Come on, I had to commit.
Oh my
That's,
god!
that's what the astronauts do, bro. They just have to swallow their toothpaste. So, yeah.
You could have asked for maybe a cup, spit it in after, like a drink.
Oh my
Nah.
god.
Nah, he goes
This
hardcore
was.
like that.
Wait, is this Berlin or no? Which one is this? I wasn't at this one.
This was still Berlin.
This was Berlin.
The lower. After we lost
Oh.
to Vision Strikers, then we had to play. I think this is foot. Wait, not
Yeah.
foot.
Well, they were super massive at the time, but
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We always had
Shiva
a
in the
joke of
back.
calling them super massive ball sack.
SMB.
SMB.
The vibes.
good times.
Did you guys like Clinton or Black and Blue any favorite Benkai moment, like meme moment from back then?
Let me think.
I think this one here was probably my favorite because like you really committed to the bit. Like you really looked like you woke up, like you're looking confused when you walk on the stage. And this one had me just dying laughing when I was watching it back home. This was my favorite. The Dino costume one is good too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just like look like you actually look like you just woke up. It's brilliant.
He didn't even have his glasses on or anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
And then a few of like the rest of the team tried to join you in it, but they didn't commit.
I think they might have been like half embarrassed.
Yeah. I think at
Got
the time
to.
everyone on the team was still at that age where they were like very self-conscious, They
Like
didn't
first
have like
few
the
international appearances. Yeah.
they didn't have the switch that they can just turn on and be like, fuck it, let's do it.
It's not easy to just like do that also, but like holy cow. You made everyone laugh so much. I'll always remember the one with the press conference when you suddenly just started making a sandwich and then you fed Ye and everything. That was
fed
another.
everyone on the desk. Everyone on the desk was well fed.
What kind of sandwich? What kind of sandwich was it?
I bought different sauces and different ingredients. I remember I bought pesto sauce, I bought truffle mayo, and I just had like a normal ketchup bottle also, and then I just bought like lettuce, ham, cheese, some
Quality
chicken
sandwich.
strips. Yeah, I just
Perfect.
went to like a random Turkish supermarket and just bought
Hi, my
everything.
question.
Crazy.
I love it.
Oh my.
It's honestly part
There
of what
it is.
made. It's part of what.
Ye's just like,
He's like,
oh god.
Is man serious? You should have brought a rice cooker next time.
Rice
Even
cooker.
That'd be
Yeah,
crazy. I don't think.
after.
Yeah, there's no way there's enough time for that.
Pass it around. So good. But yeah, memes aside, PaperX also made it all the way to the grand finals of like Copenhagen. Always gonna remember that one for sure. What was the overall experience like? Playing all the way, having the memes, meeting the team for the first time. How would you look back on your entire experience with PaperX?
I think it's always gonna be something that I'll be thankful for, because if I wasn't in paper X, I don't think I'll have anything that I have now. A lot of the like actually I don't think I literally wouldn't have anything. Like when I think about it, I met my fiance because she worked at paper X.
Social media, right?
Yeah, she was a social media manager. So imagine if I never actually like joined the team back during CS. I feel like my life would be so different now. Yeah, and I think a lot of the highs and lows are attributed to my time during paper X as well.
For sure. I just because I was the for people who don't know, I was your not team manager. I was like the handler
Mm.
with Riot, and then I was assigned you guys. When you made it to that grand final, and then you guys lost, the mood in that player room after the match was so solemn, and like I
Mm.
had to kind of tell you guys, guys, we gotta go. But I didn't dare to say anything because everyone was down, like looking at their phones, not really wanting to like do like you were just in the moment. And I think I could hear maybe like Jason, maybe you even were like sobbing a little bit. And I was just like, "Oh, God, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do." Like,
You're the handler, right? That time, quick.
yeah, that's kind of what it was. And I had to kind of like get them to you got to do backstage interviews or go onto the bus and go back to the hotel and things like that. But
Was that
yeah, that's
was
the
that by
whole.
like was that by luck of the draw, or did they specifically put you with us because you were Singaporean also?
I assume it's because I was Singaporean also, so I'm not entirely sure. This was probably more assigned by the writers who were
I'm pretty
handling that
sure
whole
it's
thing.
like that. I'm pretty sure it's like that
Yeah,
because that's why
100%.
Mika
Yeah, I
got,
got the team secret.
team secrets as well because
Mm.
Yeah,
she's Filipino.
I mean sometimes it's just more familiar, but yeah, it's a whole trip. But like, how was that kind of feeling for you, like grand finals, and then also to lose it at the end to however well FPX played back then?
Uh I think that's something that we all had to go through at that moment, I think, because it was a new feeling for us. We didn't really know like how to handle that at the time. So our first response was just to be extremely sad and just looking down at our phones and being depressed. But I mean, it didn't last that long. Like the feeling didn't last that long for me because I'm like, I feel like we already accomplished like a huge thing for like Asian Valorant in general. Because at the time it was like, if I'm not wrong, we were the first Asian team to like ever get into a grand finals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that in itself really felt like a huge achievement to me, and that's like, it's not all that bad.
I think that was, yeah, you put
They were,
Singapore
yeah,
on the
for sure.
stage. You put Singapore in like newspapers and like stories and everything. My dad started watching Valorant because of you guys. Like, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's a whole experience.
Did you like when you came back? Were people like recognizing you in the streets or anything, Benkai, or did life just kind of continue as normal?
A little bit, yeah. Like, I've had people start recognizing me a bit more, like in the street and stuff. And it's a very weird feeling like at the start when it starts to happen. Like, people just start staring at you, and you're wondering, do I have something on my face or?
Do you
My
have
fly unzipped, like.
Or
like
like, why is this guy
one
staring at me?
you have like one fan interaction that stands out for you from that time or to
Ooh,
you?
ooh, I don't know. All of them are always so like tame.
Tame.
I
Damn,
would say Singaporean fans are very tame. Like,
well, that's a
the
good thing.
most, yeah, the most they'll do like most of the time is just ask if I'm Benkai and ask for a photo, and that was always pretty
Sure.
much it. Yeah, but when it comes to like meet and greets, like Paper Rex organized meet and greets,
Mhm.
like there'll be a bunch of people that ask me to like sign their faces and stuff like that. But I didn't think that was so bad. Like signing a person's face isn't that bad. Not that weird.
There are worse body parts, they could be asking.
Yeah.
I think your face is fine.
Black and blue would know. He's always asking. He's always asking.
Yeah. I mean, there was that one time, dude was like, "Can you sign my butt as sleepy?" No, I'm not sleepy, bro. I'm joking. He's over there.
Certainly
Uh,
can be weirder.
I want to ask one quick question about Copenhagen a little bit. I wasn't there for that one, so I was kind of curious, like you guys ran into like some teams and players who are still, like legends. I mean, you guys beat Prime Optic, right? You beat Yay, Chamber Optic.
Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic at the time was still very, very good. Guild was no slouch. What what was it like taking on those teams, like especially Optic? Like that's the one I want to know about. Like when Yay was just absolutely destroying on Chamber. Like how did you guys deal with that? How did you mitigate it?
Uh, at the time, our playstyle was still something that was really like other people were not used to playing against that.
Everyone was calling it chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone was used to like that EMEA structured slow playstyle, right? Like both NA and EMEA were playing the same way. So we just thought playing the way that we do would probably take them by surprise and put a lot of pressure on them because at the time no one was playing the way that we did. So we just decided to really get up in their face, go hyper aggressive. Like we didn't even want to give Ye the space to like try and find picks. And every time he picked us, we almost made sure that he was peeking into like 3 people at the same time. Yeah, so that's how we pretty much the kind of game plan that we had going into that. And at the same time, we didn't really feel any pressure at all because at the time we were still like counted as the underdogs, right? It's like that mentality that you have when you're the underdog. Like you don't really care because no one expects you to win, so you don't have that pressure. Yeah, so that's pretty much how we handled like all the other teams that we were playing also. And it also helped that I find it so stupid, but last time during the qualifiers, if you won if you won first place in the qualifier, you would immediately go into playoffs in Masters.
That's right.
And I thought that was such I mean we benefited from it at the time, but I just thought that we were lucky, I think, to like have the format be that way at the time. Because I feel like we would have given other teams more time to figure us out had we played the group stage.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
interesting because some other players feel like if they had the group stage to play, maybe they could have figured out their own stuff a bit better, for the tournament, kind of gotten warmed up. But you guys feel like it was a benefit for you, in comparison.
Mm-hmm. I think the way we were playing at the time didn't really require us to be that warmed up because it's so in your face, right? So all we need to do is just really dry run the kind of stress that we had at the time and have that be perfect and just make sure that it works like the first few times. Then after that, we just gradually feel more and more warmed up as the tournament went on.
Mm. Is that why you guys chose to play Chamber against EA as well? Like for all maps? Like we'll do it anyways.
I don't know. I think during the time it wasn't like a specific thing that we did because of Yay, but Chamber was already in like the maps
The
that we
meta.
were practicing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Chamber was just busted. Like just
Back then.
absolutely busted.
Yeah, it was
I mean, would you guys take the Chamber meta or the Tejo meta?
Oh god.
oh,
Oh man.
What's more difficult to play against right now for you, Ben?
I feel like Teho meta is definitely more difficult to play right now. I think if you have like a really disciplined team with their retakes and their plans and everything, there's almost nowhere that you can play when there's a tail on the other side. If the execute is like good enough, there's almost nowhere you can stand as safe.
Yeah.
And at it like back then during the chamber meta, I just thought it was just as simple as, "Oh, be careful of this guy peeking at this angle." Like, the whole meta was based around how good you are with getting 1 kill and getting the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
But this one is like, "Oh, so much utility. What kind of execute are they gonna do? How do I disrupt their execute?" Yeah, and I just feel like there's a lot less
More
to
problems.
think about last time.
Right. Yeah, this meta, it is it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
The game is very different now. I mean, yeah, the scene is also quite different. I think the way that like all the roster shuffles have gone over, like Valorant 3 years ago compared to now, even just 3 years, it's changed a lot. Which does bring us to some harder questions, I think, for Ben. So obviously, another thing is that you had to kind of step away from Paper X at some point. I think last year
Mhm.
specifically. How was that experience for you? Because that's like your first time. Like Paper X was your home for so long, not just with the team, but like Alex, the management, Harley as well. And then you had to go over to global esports. Like, what's that like?
Ooh,
I think people underestimate how hard a pro player's life can be, like being away from home and everything. Also,
yeah. I would say, like, being away from home definitely had, like, a part to play in the way that I left. But I feel like all I can say about my departure from Paper X is that I fully understand, like, why I had to be taken out of the team already. Like, I'm at peace with that already, and I agree with the decision that was made at the time. But I felt that the way that they handled my departure was, I would say, poorly handled. I think
like,
but I understand that as well because it was the first time they've ever had to do that, like Paper X.
mm,
Yeah, so I don't think at the time they were well equipped with, like, the knowledge that they needed to have to handle this kind of situation. So it was very new to them. Yeah, so after a while I, like, understood that, and then I was already ready to move on. And then, yeah, Global Esports just approached me afterwards. I was like, sure, I don't mind.
how did you don't have to answer exactly, but like, how did it kind of happen? Did you just one day find out like, sorry, Ben, we kind of have to let you go, and then the next day you get like an email or something, or how did it kind of happen?
Ah,
If you are able to share.
it was. I won't go into the details that much, but it is similar to what is happening to Mind Freak right now.
Oh,
Like,
oh, to
instead
kind
of
of.
instead of Batman, it was something, and then instead of Mind Freak, it was me.
Uh,
Right.
you just get straight up replaced or
Yeah,
almost like subbed.
I won't. I'm not assuming that Mind Freak is gonna be, like, fully, like, leaving, but I'm just saying that the situation is similar.
Okay, there are definitely some similarities in
Makes
that,
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
which,
I can see the parallels.
whew, right? It then it also makes the mood like so contrary right now. I do like kind of wonder as well, but Mind Freak's also kind of like he's having fun watch partying and like supporting the team from the sidelines, which is also kind
I
of nice
can.
to see.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I would also be, like, happier after having to live there for, like, the better part of, like, 3 years. Like, right now, I think this is like it was his third year living in Korea, like, this year.
Right?
So I feel like it would have been such a nice reset just to be able to, like, relax a bit.
Sometimes even to take a break and like people talk about mental, but I think not really fully realizing how like much of a toll it takes for you, even when you have to play. Like, yeah, we're playing a game, but still, like, you miss home and stuff, and that bothers you a bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so being on global esports, then, like, what was it like on that team? Because a bunch of different players all around, and of course you got the coaches spin and big time also. What was that like?
Uh, fuck big time, bro. Guy's a twat.
Yeah, so you call him Harry Potter every now and then.
Yeah.
Would you
I'm
say
gonna
that
tell him that.
he's a C word?
He's yeah. I think I forgot who it was that posted a picture of him saying he looked like Harry Potter, and then I called him Daniel Sadcliffe.
That's really good.
But no, jokes aside, I really don't hate him. Like, I feel like the coaches like Spin and Big Time, they were the people that understood my humor the most. Yeah, like the kind of banter that would go back and forth with us. And I built like a really good relationship with like the two of them and the rest of the team also. I'd say like I had good relationships with like the entire team as well. Because we did a lot of like bonding practices. We had like a sports psychologist for most of our time there, and like we did a lot of like work together there. I felt it was really beneficial. Yeah, I think global esports as a whole like did all that they could to like really facilitate our growth. Yeah, but
Do you think
sometimes
do you
sorry.
think they were forced to do that because you guys are like one of the only teams that literally had a player from everywhere on the world? Like none of you were from the same region even. You know, you guys had like Polvi, Ross, guys from Finland, from the UK, and then there's you and the Lightning Fast from India as well. You guys think that was like something that they normally do for their team, or was it like we have to put extra focus into making sure these guys gel because culturally you guys are, you know, from very different worlds?
Mm-hmm. Um, I don't think it's something that they emphasize on letting us have. I think having a sports psychologist was more the doing of our coach at the time, Spin. Like he pushed for us to have like a sports psychologist. Yeah, but I mean it was good that Global Esports like agreed to having that because I felt that it helped us really come together as a team a lot more. Like there wasn't any tension at the time. Yeah, look at that short fuck standing there.
He is not the tallest guy.
No. And his the food that he likes is also just atrocious.
my
Just
God.
atrocious.
Oh my god, what is the previous year he was still in GE, right? The guy said he like Big Time told me he ate like chicken breast from the convenience store almost every single day.
Oh my god, dude. Come
Like
on. Oh.
maybe
Sometimes I
maybe
try
he was in a
those.
cut. Maybe he was in a
he
cut. You know?
No.
he's so predictable, man. Has he told you about that cafe he visits on his off days in Hongdae?
Yes,
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 yes.
the same place every time.
Yeah.
It's also kind of admirable, but it's hilarious. Oh my
He
God.
sent us a picture of food and he's like, guys, this is like the best food, and it looked horrible. We're like, what are you
Please
sending us,
explain what it
dude?
is, Clinton.
What was it like? Was it like just beans and toast or something? I can't remember now. What or
English
was it like?
breakfast.
Was it
Crazy.
That's one
English
of those.
breakfast? Was it
Of
English
course.
breakfast?
Of course it
Yeah.
is.
Because he's so English.
But it didn't even look like good English breakfast. Like it was terrible.
I feel like that's a testament to the quality of food that he gets back home.
Not doing any favors for the English food stereotypes at
No.
all.
No, he was not.
At all.
He is not shy. He doesn't shy away from Korean food, so I do kind of admire that. But yeah, it's
Mhm.
always hilarious.
What is
when
wrong
he
with you guys?
goes
Korean food's
off of.
amazing.
I know, but I don't know. It's not me. It's them.
No, it is you. I'm blaming you this time.
Okay.
Did you
I
guys
miss my chicken rice, dude. I
did
miss
you
my
guys see that?
matcha.
Do you guys see that? I think it was from might have been from CS even, where I think a caster's or from League where a caster said like Asian food in Australia is better than Asian
Oh
food in
hell.
Asia.
Oh, dude.
Who said
Them's
that?
fighting words.
yeah, yeah.
You don't
Let's
go
find
there.
him.
And even his co-caster was like, "Bruh."
You gotta have a talk with some of these people now.
Feels like a take that Pilski would have. I'm not gonna lie.
I may or may not have recalled him saying something along those lines. But yeah, those things, yeah, it's pretty wild. Well, then, of course, with global esports done in that now, what's life for you like now? Then, as like a, in retirement, and not really retirement either, but what's it like now?
Uh,
Do you kind
both.
of miss everything? Are you looking for new opportunities?
I am looking for new opportunities, and I would say that like the time that I've spent in like the last few months has been both stressful and I'd say relieving at the same time. Stressful because like it's my first time that I don't currently have something, that um basically a job, but relieving in the sense that like I've I realized this when I was like hanging out with my friends like a few days back. Like everyone was talking about how they had the time like after college to just take a gap year, take a break, that kind of thing. Like they always had a time to rest, but and then after that I realized that ever since I've been studying, I've never taken that kind of like gap in time where I just did nothing but relax. So I just felt that maybe the time that I'm having now is finally like me having that short break. Yeah, so in that sense it helped me like cope with my current situation of like not having a job, but at the same time it's still like a bit stressful. But I am looking for like opportunities, mainly for coaching actually. I'm pretty sure I'm done playing already. I'm not sure if I can play anymore.
Okay. Coaching,
Well, I
any.
mean, when Dubstep was here last episode, he put his ad out for, if you guys need an assistant coach. So maybe you might want to,
Yeah.
for
Anything else?
PSA.
Yeah.
Here's your chance.
Benkai head coach. Yeah. Dubstep assistant coach.
Let people know.
Make it happen.
Let's go W. What did what was it? The last time I think it was his birthday last year, like there was a E card. There was a E card that someone asked me to sign for his birthday and I said, what did I say? I know I ended it with hashtag GE struggling. 'Cause at the time I think we were already like losing, so yeah.
Good old Dubstep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, about real quick while we're on the topic, whose idea was it to bring the flag to Berlin when you guys first went to Berlin? Like, you guys brought, your country flags, but you guys brought the Philippine flag as well because Bren, secret, they didn't qualify. I mean, they couldn't make it
Oh
because
yeah.
visa stuff. Whose
That
idea
was
was that?
Nick.
Okay.
Nick.
Nico, CEO. You gotta
Yeah.
give credit where it's due, huh? Nico.
The man knows how to farm, man. The farm in his heart.
He knew that Pinoy pride was strong. You guys made the local news because of that. They're like,
Oh my
these
god.
people brought the Philippine flag. Woo, Pinoy pride.
Let's go.
You also want some TV.
Labantinas.
Yeah. Farming in what is it? Pokemon Unite now. And there's like a TFT thing also, right?
Yeah,
That
TFT.
they
Like,
brought up.
that's crazy to me. It's so like I mean I don't really know like their thought process of like signing these games, but I don't know, it just came so out of nowhere. Like out of nowhere we're like, hey, my fiance tells me you're signing a Pokemon Unite team. I'm like,
Expanding bit by bit.
then
Apparently it's
suddenly
not.
a TFT player comes out of nowhere.
It's kind
Would
of
you
I,
hop to a different game? Like you hop from CS to Valorant. Would you do it again? Like for
Marvel
real?
ooh,
Rifles.
I would say that I would say I'm pretty good at Marvel Rivals. I've been playing there with my friends.
For
Really?
real.
But yeah.
What role do you play in Rivals?
Uh I'm normally filling, but when I can I'm just DPSing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Any specific what do they call him? Hero? Hero?
Hero, I guess.
I actually don't know the term for that, but I'm assuming it's heroes. But I think
Superhero,
my most comfort hero is Hela, I think.
Ah.
of course.
That's
The hit scan character, the one hit scan
Mm.
character.
Makes sense though. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
But yeah, so do you want to do like an ad for opportunities that you're looking
an
for
ad.
as a coach, or
Yeah.
I don't know, just like shout out something?
I mean, there's not much I can say. I feel like I possess the required knowledge to make a great coach. I would be
Would you say you
the
would be a
first.
better coach than Big Time? That's the question.
Oh, definitely, man. Come on. Dude, whoever's been doing, oh my god, if the people at Pacific are somehow watching, whoever's been doing Big Time's hair before he goes on stage, help that man. So, so- I don't mean to roast Big Time. Like I'm doing this because I'm saying I know what his hair looks on his best day, and recently that ain't it.
I feel like I feel like he's kind of given up. You know what I mean? Like he just
He just
He
shows
goes
up
to
and
the
just lets them in.
same
yeah,
like
yeah,
barber shop or something. So,
yeah. I agree. He does. Yeah, let's get him some help. Let's get him some help.
put some like mascara on his wispy mustache or something. you
Oh
know,
yeah.
thicken it up a little bit more. I don't know, something along those lines. But yeah, okay. So that's Big Time. That's yes. Please, someone out there, Benkai's looking for a coaching gig, and he's gonna do way better than Big Time ever did. But yeah, that said, I guess final sort of like personal question before moving to Pacific stuff. Um, yeah, we gotta ask these. Any advice for other people who want to get started in esports? Like, what are your tips on, or your thoughts on how important it is to brand yourself, whether you're a player, coach, caster, even anything, and then especially in Singapore also, because Singapore is very small. So yeah, any
Uh,
advice on like how to get started, how you got to where you are?
uh, I think being disciplined and coming up with a training schedule for yourself and actually sticking to it is very important. But I think people that are trying to get into this have to understand the importance of networking as well. Like a lot of these team signings that I see, or like teams in general, like a lot of people just know each other.
Mm,
Like it's
Mm.
because I know this guy from somewhere, I think he's good. And word of mouth always travels faster than waiting for someone to spot you in rank.
right. Like give
Like
a good first impression then.
something like that, yeah. Like try to expand your circle as much as you can.
How do you actually? I mean, because for you, you happen to match with someone in ranked, but how? Like for some, kid who's out there who might be watching this, what advice would you give them if they want to network or expand their circle a little bit more? Do you write a how many page report was it, and then send that to someone on VLR? What was that back then?
Oh God.
The
Is
100
that
Is it
how
page.
100
you network?
pages?
That's the networking guide. How do we?
Whoa,
How should someone network actually?
that's
Like seriously.
crazy. Yeah. Such a hard thing to do right now. Like when I think of if I were to start, like if I were to go pro at this current time in esports,
Competitive.
yeah, I feel like it would be so generally a hard thing to do. But I would say try not to focus on that so much first. I feel like you should build up your own discipline first. Like actually set goals for yourself and try to hit them and find different ways to like better yourself in the game. Because I feel like even though networking is important, I feel like your actual gameplay and how good you are will always come first before that. Yeah, like Karen isn't a friend of anyone, but someone still like saw him in ranked and we're like pluck him out of there. So it can both things like both ways can happen. It's just you can make your life easier when you network a bit more.
That you're prepared to be touched by like luck, so to say, I guess.
I'm always
I mean,
prepared to be touched.
I was wondering where you're going with that
Yeah,
Quack. I'm like,
yeah,
oh
me
boy.
too. I'm like, talking about touching now?
What
Yeah,
kind of
you
podcast is
know me,
this again?
guys. I like getting touched.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually quite. I do remember like Ben having talks before in like the local Singapore scene, and part of the advice that you gave was like, because as a player, your whole metric, like the way that people sort of judge you, is just your performance. That's all you got, and it's a very difficult life to go off of sometimes. And if you're prepared for it,
Mhm.
if you're disciplined, then yeah, that kind of it makes everything else easier, I guess. So
I
yeah,
feel like you
yeah,
can. I'm pretty sure you can find the same kind of advice that like if you're an aspiring player, you can find the same kind of advice in any other traditional sport. I think. I feel like it's still pretty much the same like route that everyone has to take, like training schedule and all of that.
true.
Sure.
Do you guys have any other questions, Clinton, Black and Blue?
I, the only one thing I'd be curious about is I'd want to know like are there any players like that you watch in that are in VCT right now that you just watch more for like their personality, or you know what I mean? Like I obviously Boaster, I think we all know Boaster is him with that kind of stuff. But is there anybody else right now that you think is like underrated as being funny or interesting?
I don't know.
Ooh,
It's been so stale. Like
right?
that's
We
that's how
haven't
I
had a
feel. Yeah.
Benkai level
This is
memester.
kind of why I asked, because I was kind of feeling the same way.
Yeah. I like watching Art though from DFM.
Mm.
Okay.
I love how persistent he is with that Odin. He doesn't want to put it down. It's like it's handcuffed to his hand.
Yeah.
Like he can't put it down. And I always just found that admiring.
Okay.
He's actually a pretty funny guy. Like this is something, it is kind of hard to bridge the gap between Japan and the rest of the world, like the English speaking world in particular. But he's actually quite funny. Art has a lot of personality actually, but it's hard to find ways to bring that out, you know,
Mm.
because it doesn't
Sure.
quite
They are
work
putting
the
in
same.
efforts in their walkouts though. I'm enjoying them.
Yeah.
Tommy with the dances.
Yeah.
That's actually like trying. I appreciate that.
True that. What about like other regions? I think NA gets kind of spicy sometimes with the
I mean,
things that
yeah, their whole like archetype is based around trash talking. No,
right. It's not as
that's just
much
how it.
memes, but it's scolding.
Yeah, it's just the drama of like creating the drama of like two teams like trash talking each other, seeing who can back it up. I think that's what gains traction in their region the most. Yeah, I think
Yep.
I'm pretty sure uh when Bleed came in, that was what they tried to do with their approach to their social media. Like they tried to adopt like that NA trash talking, hey you guys are shit, that was an easy game kind of personality, but you
Yeah.
just can't I feel like you just can't do that in Asia. Like no one receives that kind of character well in this region. Yeah, so you gotta play your cards right, I think.
Well, unfortunately for them, they gave everybody else the unlimited ammo to shit on them.
Yeah.
Well, unlimited is one way to put it. I think that's a great segue for us to go into Pacific, right?
Yeah.
Or do you guys want to break before we get into it?
Good, you can keep going.
I'm good.
All
Yeah.
right, then let's get into it. So yes, segue. Yeah. Speaking of Boom and Bleed and all those shenanigans, yes. Now that Bleed is gone, we do have Boom at the very top of
Ooh, with
Woo!
5
PFG.
big booms.
Five
Let's
big
go.
booms. That's right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Literal
Ow!
5-0.
Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness.
They're playing so well. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah. This is like a Cinderella story right now, right?
Uh-huh.
Like a team that shouldn't be here is now running the table in this league. Like they're beating everybody. They were in the group that a lot of people thought might be the more difficult one, maybe, and they're destroying. Yeah, you got to be really happy about this. I bumped into DOS9 before the match against DFM, and I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he's like, he just narrows his eyes at me and goes, "You didn't pick us to win." And I'm like, "Dude." I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Dude, I just, I'm a Japanese team fan. Don't take it personally." But yeah, happy to see Boom do well. Yeah.
Did you ever take those personally, Benkai? Like predictions, like caster predictions and stuff?
Uh,
Even jokingly?
not really. But I didn't really. I always like didn't really read into them too much.
But did
Yeah.
you ever like find him as like fuel, like I'm gonna prove these guys wrong? You know what I'm saying?
I guess it varies from person to person, but for me, I didn't really like use that as fuel.
Ah,
Yeah.
unfazed.
You shouldn't take it seriously. We don't.
We
Like,
don't.
We don't. We have to pick somebody. Like, I've literally flipped coins. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
You gotta build cases for each team. So they
right.
can,
And like half the time I'm picking a team just because like somebody needs to like big
Root
up
for
a
the other
team.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to give them some kind of respect. Like all the players work their fucking asses off to be there. You know what I mean? Like somebody should give them a little bit of love.
Mhm.
yeah, true that. Or in some cases, just pick Team Secret or pick Paper X all the way. That's that's the
Yeah, what could go
ideal
wrong?
Yeah, yeah.
Or be like me and pick DFM the whole way. What could go wrong?
Well, that could what you're seeing on the screen right now. That's what goes wrong.
Yep.
But apart from that, also I think what RQ as the first like top seed of the Omega group is also quite interesting as well. Them taking down Talon, but then also dropping a secret in the most recent game. Any
Yeah.
thoughts, guys?
I don't know, man. Like on one hand, Secret did look better during that game, their final game of the opening season. But then again, RQ also did kind of look worse. So I almost kind of, it's hard to. They're definitely not saving strats, but I see why chat has a point sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know, because for one, yeah, Team Secret, yes, they played better. They finally moved Oreo to the front line. Things look better with him on the front line as opposed to them shuffling him around on Initiator all the time. This was the only series I think that he played Duelist the entire series. And then in comparison to what we saw in prior games, but then RRQ also being the top seed of this and still losing to arguably the worst team in their group. I don't know how that happens, but it happened. Like even if Secret played better, it feels like they shouldn't have won that much.
But I feel like it's coming at the stage where it's like it wouldn't matter as much. Like yeah, it affects like your like whether you're in like the upper bracket or the lower bracket, right? But I feel like making those mistakes now costs you less than making it in the playoffs.
True.
Just less urgency.
That's
as
a
a
good
whole.
point. Yeah.
That's a very positive perspective to take, actually.
Well, I mean, and you have to imagine that also RRQ's prep probably got thrown out the window pretty quick when Team Secret rocked up to the server running double duelist the whole day. Like that was probably pretty unexpected because we hadn't seen Team Secret change their comps really much at all this year. A little bit, but not nearly like this.
Mhm.
So I think part of that probably was playing into it as well.
Mhm.
I actually do have that as a bit of a question for Ben here, because apart from RQ getting somewhat surprised by Team Secret, we also had Talon beating T1.
That
And
was a surprise.
right, so many of these things come down to prep. We can go into Talon T1 a little bit further later, but for now, just to ask Ben, having been a player before, um, what's your take on like, you know, playing on the server, but then suddenly getting surprised by an opponent who, maybe went with a different composition? Like, is it just do you still try to stick to your game plan, or are you able to somehow adapt? Like, is that how teams keep themselves on top? Because the schedule for like T1 right now can be quite brutal for them also, or even for Paper X back then, it was quite brutal.
I feel like there's only so much prep that you can do to like try and prepare you for these kind of moments where the team that you're facing suddenly switches up. But for me personally, the thing that helped me the most was when I was like anti-stratting another team. I didn't really, for my personal prep, I kind of tried to dive into like the head of their IGL and try and learn what kind of pattern he calls. Because I feel like that will always be the constant, regardless of the comp, the way that the guy calls the game. So for me, that was how I prep like a lot of the time, like just trying to guess what kind of play style does he call, when does he like to change his when does he change his tempo, and like yeah, basically just try and get into the mind of him of whoever the IGL is. But this whole game is I feel like it's always about adapting, right? It's who can adapt better. Yeah, and if Team Secret came in with like an entirely new comp, then I feel like it's on RRQ to be not prepared enough to know what that comp is capable of. Like if you're running double duelist, you should already expect a certain kind of playstyle and aggressiveness that comes along with it. Accompanied with like, I feel like there's a bit of a stereotype around like how Team Secret plays right now. It feels like I'm watching like Gambit from 2021, 22, like when they were super slow and they run down the clock until like 30 seconds. So I'm just kind of like thinking, okay, if they're running double duelist, I feel like they're either gonna be super aggressive or they're just gonna run down the clock again. I just felt that it was like either the two of that. If I was doing the prep.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Constants and variables, as they say.
Yeah.
What do you make of like Benkai, like the Indonesian teams in particular? Like obviously both teams have players from other regions, but like they're really rising up, they're really stepping up. You've played against a lot of these players in the past too. How are you seeing this? Like, do you think do you think they can really like make a run and compete, like get to Toronto and actually, vie for a championship?
Definitely, man. I feel like, in my personal opinion, I think Indonesia produces the best Valorant players, like so far. And like a lot of these teams in Pacific right now, a lot of their like stars are, majority of them I would say are the imports, right? I feel like, yeah, but in terms of like quality wise, I always felt Indonesia had like the best talent pool and had like the best amount of players playing the game.
And you played with two. You played with Forsaken. You played with Mind Freak.
Yeah.
And they were both incredible, especially even early back then. But
Even if we go way back, I played against his brother Excurate in CS.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's another top player in CS that went on to be like pretty successful, but he, I mean, he never went to Valorant. He's still in CS, I think, but he was the only one out of the Asian region that actually went like far.
he
And
joined T1 for a bit.
no, it was who Excurate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he did for like, was it last? No, 2 years ago.
Yeah, last year.
Last year.
Yeah. Not for very long.
not for long.
That's decent. But yeah,
I think he's still on T1 as a content creator,
I
if I'm not mistaken.
do believe
That would
so.
make sense.
Yeah.
That
I
would
think he
make
was
sense.
streaming with tens just a few days ago.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
May have been. I
Well,
think.
since you have like experience playing with and against either brother, do you see any similarities that like Jason picked up from his older brother?
Oh, no.
Not at all.
Wasn't Excure just off, right?
No, Excurate is, I would say, the habit picked up from, like, he picked up his playstyle habits from CS. Like he was always the guy that was picking up the op in CS.
Mhm.
So it kind of pushed him to be a bit more defensive, be a bit more careful with its decisions. Like that's
Jason's not like that.
no. I think
Double-
Jason Jason came into CS really late, so he didn't have that ingrained in his brain yet. So when he moved over to Valorant, it was easy for him to like adapt the kind of playstyle that Valorant needs.
How would you describe Jason's playstyle in that case?
Opportunistic.
Mm,
Hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I was expecting something memey, but
Yeah, I was expecting like W key or something, you know.
I feel like
Where
the
did that?
W thing. Oh my god. I feel like the W thing is ingrained in them now.
When did that start? What? I'm not
Actually,
super familiar with the lore of W gaming.
it is a good
Ah,
question.
I'm not sure. It might have been around the period of like Copenhagen, where
Okay,
everyone was like seeing this hyper aggressive play style, like strats that come out from the start of the round, pushing people into their spawn on fracture. Then I think it came from it probably came from like Nikhil again. It's like, oh, it's like W gaming, you always like go forward, you don't go back. So he just made it like the thing for Paper X.
smart.
And then that evolved into other teams, Uncle Gaming, whenever they're
Uncle
slow,
game.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always fun.
Well,
Well, speaking of Uncle Gaming, I guess we do still have. Okay, it's not really exactly like that, but teams are a lot more tactical now, especially with the current meta. And I think the teams that are doing that quite well would be the four Korean teams in our Pacific group stage
As
so far, right?
expected.
All four of
Yeah.
them making it through. It is a little bit shaky though. Any comments on that from either of you guys?
Ooh.
man,
Right?
there's
Like,
a
okay,
lot. There's a lot to think about with the teams right now with
why don't we
Korea.
start with T1? Like
T1.
schedule first thing. I think it's been quite
Sure.
hectic for them. Just straight from Masters Bangkok
Yeah.
and down into this. They're still running kind of the same like comps and stuff.
Mostly, yeah. Mostly double dose stuff still. I mean, it's starting to get figured out. I mean, I think obviously part of it is their schedule is like one of the most brutal you can have. And then their like double duelist stuff, not only is it getting figured out, but a lot of other teams are stealing it. And so therefore, like more people are getting exposure to it, more people are, understanding it from a how these comps can function perspective, not only on
Mhm.
top of what they see from what T1 does. So they kind of know how to play against it. I think that's part of it. I think in general, though, I think they just probably are a little tired. Like, let's just be honest. Like, it's hard, man. It's hard to keep that up for that long. You can see that even Buzz is starting to have a few off games, and Meteor as well. Like, two players who are generally quite consistent. Um, I think they'll bounce back, but I'm not 100% sure yet.
Playoffs a tiny break. Was that something you ever had to go through, Ben? Like rough schedule, nonstop Valorant.
Ooh, I wouldn't. I don't think no. I think no. I feel like it only gets extremely rough if you make it super deep into a tournament and then you win it, and then you have to go back and play even more. And I've never had the pleasure of winning.
You made it to grand finals.
Yeah,
You made it to
Yeah, the
grand
Yeah.
grand
finals.
finals.
And then you had
Wait,
the
yeah,
after
but
party afterwards.
I mean, do
Yeah.
you think you had more time because the format was different too? Like there was no league system like for the first 2 years. So you had the opportunity to go back to your, own MYSG qualifier, wait for a bit before things settled back into shape. Do you think that that's a contributor to why you didn't feel like you were super pressed for time back then?
yeah, 100%, man. I think because of the league, everything is so tightly packed now. Last time with like the way they did challenges and masters, it didn't really feel like we were always we didn't have time to like breathe. You always felt that we could, like, after playing an event like a masters, there's always like a little lull period where there was just nothing and we could just like relax for a bit. But I feel like it's a lot more stressful for the teams nowadays, especially those that win, because you don't get the time that you need to come up with new things. You know, you have to come back from a win and immediately go into playing with all the stuff that you already have that everyone else would have already watched.
Namely T1. So
Yeah.
they're running that whole like Meteor Yoru comp, and what Talon did last week was so impressive, and not just because of the way they played, but the whole story surrounding it. You know, Cruz with, I'm a little bit hesitant to say, but you know, his dad passing, but he was, you know, speaking with Frost, he's also the one who came back, noticed that this is the composition that T1 always plays. What if we ran Deadlock to specifically place traps around where Buzz would TP to? And that's how they took that Haven win. Like, that's just so impressive to me.
Mm-hmm.
How he was able to run that and come up with that even. But also, you know, like, feels bad for T1 to, you know, not perform as well as a lot of fans expect them to, I guess.
It's fine. I think they have the
Playoffs.
if anything, they have the freedom to like at least change up some things now. They already been in the playoffs anyway. I feel like they have the time now to change a few things in the coming weeks.
What do you, you know, as someone who used to run kind of a lot of aggressive teams and things like that, do you see any similarities between T1 and like Paper X from 2022 or you know back in that era? Um, it, like, do they feel similar to you, or is it kind of like a different style?
I mean, for one, T1 knows what they're doing.
Compared to Paper X.
Okay.
They
They're
do
a lot
have a lot
more-
of coaches.
They're a lot more organized, and it feels like the rounds that they have are like actually fleshed out with contingencies and like what happens if X happens. But for us, last time it was like if this strat doesn't work, we're fucked. kind of a thing. So I feel like T1 is taking it like to the level that I wish we had last time when we were still like playing.
Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, T1 they finally found their first win. What do you think? I mean, for the longest time, Vision Strikers, as you mentioned, was like the best team in Asia, right? You guys would scrim them a lot, and they were always unable to even get to the grand finals. And then essentially, some of the core players from there finally do find themselves in that spot. So this Korean team, you know, T1, what's the biggest difference you think that like was lacking from that OG Vision Strikers squad compared to now that allowed them to finally close it out and finally get a win for Korea? Because they were always organized, anyways. They were always structured. They were always one of the most structured.
Mhm.
But what's new now? Why now compared to before? Is it the meta like finally favoring them more?
I feel like it's both the meta and stacks accumulating all those years of IGLing and that experience that piled up. Because I feel like he's been in that position so many times, and it also helps him at the same time that the current meta now is to be a bit more structured and smart with your utility. That's something that Vision Strikers back then was always good at, and I feel like just the quality of players right now on T1 are much higher than what Vision Strikers were last time. Because
Meteor.
yeah,
Meteor.
and yeah, I feel like Vision Strikers back then was still, even though they were really good, they were still a tad bit behind of like EMEA, I think. But right now, all of the regions are so close together, right, in terms of like
Mhm.
skill level. Like at any Masters now, I feel like any team from any region could win it. I feel like that helped also, was that all of the other regions finally caught up to each other, so everyone's on like level playing field now.
Do you think
I
that
think-
people also kind of caught on to the whole W gaming thing, like back
Yeah,
then?
definitely. Like we had teams that very obviously like prepared for it. FPX,
Yep.
yeah, immediately just played extremely far back,
Mhm.
dealt with the aggression, So it wasn't really such a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I guess it's just how good you are at adapting in the moment to it.
But did you guys ever feel like you were pressured to, oh, we should or we have to kind of, or we want to kind of play a W gaming style because that's what we're known for, you know? Like maybe it's not optimal, but we're known for this, so fuck it, let's do it, you know? Was it ever that like you guys were kind of pressured by the own kind of branding you guys put in yourselves by playing that way? Like what fans expected out of you?
I didn't feel that way in the time that I was playing, but I'm pretty sure that they feel it now. Like you can tell that they kind of want to play like that again, and they're trying their best like not to at the same time,
Mm.
and it's kind of creating that conflict of like
Hesitant.
uh,
And the
uh
clock's changing around all the time.
yeah, and they're like in unfamiliar territory right now. But I feel like they'll definitely get better with time. A new roster anyway, and they have to learn like a almost like a entirely new kind of play style.
Right.
I mean, they still see like elements of it like here and there, like when they threw that what was it, 2v5 on
Oh yeah.
against
Oh,
DFM.
yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
good glimpse. That was a good glimpse into it.
This happen every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. Maybe let's get into it a little bit for Paper X. Because you've been with them before, so you kind of know how they think a little bit. But yeah, seeing them with their games right now, like, are you able to kind of formulate any insight as to why they are the way that they are now? Like the play style and everything, sure, but also mentally, because the play style is one thing, but there are some rounds where it's like they have clear advantages, but they just throw they just throw 'em. I don't know. Like what was it? Was it 1v4 that Munchkin had on Haven?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Forsaken peeking garage with a spike, things like that. Like, why does that happen?
I really don't know, man. I don't know. Like, uh, I always knew that Alex's coaching style was to instill confidence in the players. So like his approach was like, even if you die, it's fine. Like if you make a mistake, at least make it feeling confident. Yeah.
Too confident
So
now. It's like
yeah,
I died in a garage with a spike, but it's okay.
yeah. But like I feel like these things happen like sometimes more often with paper X, but
Do you think like as an old leader of Paper X, like the IGL, like now it seems like that's in murky territory for them. Do you think someone like Jason could step up and like kind of be that guy now, or maybe Devi, or how do you feel? How do you see that like team from a leadership role outside of Alex as a coach? Obviously, he's going to be a leader, but inside of that team when they're in the server.
I think when they're in the server itself, I feel like the people that are most capable of being able to put them together is both Forsaken and Davai. Yeah, like the two people that you mentioned. Like Davai was always the guy that brought the vibes. Yeah, he was like another jokester, and he kind of like gels the team together in terms of like trying to keep them in the game and like stop them from tilting, kind of thing. And I think Forsaken is just he can be like a really good leader when he wants to. So I think when he's required to, then he will come out and like pull everyone together and come up with like an idea that everybody will follow and have like full confidence in. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So hopefully, maybe we'll see them do a little bit more for the upcoming games, especially in playoffs. But yeah,
Well,
back into the playoffs and
they
all that.
clutched it luckily,
True, true.
Yeah,
Not too
they're
game.
fine. They're
Well, I don't know. It's, as a fan, it's like
Fine.
up to
Maybe fine.
maybe, right?
You know that gif of the dog from the cartoon. He's the room's on fire. And
fire.
Yeah.
Oh my god, wait.
We're
Ben
fine.
did that at one
I have
point.
a yeah, I did that. It was
Oh,
my
it was MYSG or something, and it was like
for one
during an
of the
interview.
interview. Yeah,
You changed your background to the
I
fire.
have a mug in my house somewhere that has that dog on it.
That's so good.
But yeah, I feel like that's kind of what a lot of the teams are going through now. Especially if we look at like, well, Gen G, changing up their roster a little bit as well. You got Ash, Suggest for a while. Now we're back with Foxy9, and they
Mhm.
are trying to be like, it's fine, we can keep playing like this. But they also dropped the DRX in the most recent week. Any thoughts on that, you guys?
That's a
Mm,
toughie. I think,
You were casting it.
yeah, I mean, Gen G is still kind of, I think, struggling to find sort of that Munchkin methodology where he wants to have like one player, whether it be him or the Sentinel, who's out there lurking, um, just kind of like keeping it in the back of the other team's minds that you never know quite where they're going to be and when they're going to be there. And I think it's not as easy to do that with Foxy because he doesn't have those same kind of senses as Meteor used to, or as Munchkin himself does. So I think there's some pressure on that to kind of adapt to this playstyle because, like, you could see it that Foxy individually is incredibly talented. Like, there's no doubt about that. Like, he can frag, he can hold his own, he can side anchor quite well, I think. So it's just like trying to find ways to update their ideas like as an IGL and as a coaching staff because what worked last year to get them like their Masters trophy isn't going to work this year with this roster. So now you can see I think that's why they bring Ash in, the Tejo specialist, so they could start playing, a little bit more structured style, maybe even a little bit more of the quote unquote Korean style, I might argue. So we'll see how they do against Talon though, because Talon looks really good.
Right. It's all about like what Ben said. You got to adapt. They got to adapt without Meteor now. Sad.
yeah. It's like sometimes after a breakup, you need a bit of a
Whoa.
work on me phase, and they definitely were not the ones who came out of that breakup happy. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like Meteor, he's over there. He's like, my ex is not doing so good. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That actually.
And unfortunately for Gen G, they're doing okay, but not doing the Gen G okay that we saw like last year.
Right. Yeah. DRX on the other hand, also, I don't know. It's hard to place them. Like they're okay, but sometimes not okay. And well, breaking news. I think it was just posted a few hours ago before we started this recording. Flashback is now pushed over onto the academy roster. It's full on. It's just Bane now.
I don't.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't
Does
know.
anyone have
I
any
feel like
thoughts?
I think DRX are still trying to find their like fit players that kind of fit the playstyle that Termi wants. I feel like so far they're still experimenting a lot.
With the
I feel
comps changing back and forth,
yeah,
right?
at least they're still like pretty consistent though in my eyes. They're still like one of the top contenders.
True.
But I don't know about
For
like it feels like they're rotating out their roster every like 2 weeks. That's how it feels.
More
Yeah.
recently, specifically with the whole
Yeah. This time,
flashback
not
thing.
even, their choice, right? Like, this is something we don't know what it is yet. It still hasn't come to light exactly what happened, like why. Um, I mean, it has to be infuriating. If I was a coach, I'd be livid. No matter what it was, like even if it's not necessarily the player's fault or whatever, like it's some life circumstance, who knows?
Just the situation itself. So it's like,
Exactly.
I had all the prep, but now I got to change it. Like, God.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, but like credit to the coaching staff, right? Like they get things turned around this quick. Like they quickly understand they can't run the double duo stuff now. So back to what was working in stage 1 with freeing on Tejo permanently and, just Hyunmin on the duelist.
True.
So this is a team that I just feel like just does well no matter what. So even if they lose to T1, I still feel like they might be the team that makes that lower bracket run and just come on, makes it to Toronto because they're just destined to keep going to international events and getting fifth and sixth. Like,
Well, I'm a little bit worried about that. I'm not entirely sure based off of just the brackets alone that I'm seeing, but if they lose, does DRX go up against Paper X? Is
I
that going to
believe
be the
so.
matchup again?
I believe the loser has to play Paper X. Yeah.
Right. So we might actually have DRX Paper X all over again, and that's always going to be a fun time. But yeah, I feel Hyunmin freeing Mako definitely consistent ones. Estrella's still
We'll
okay.
see. He looked so good in that first game, and then
Yeah,
now it's just
different
kind of
role.
yeah. But now it's like, but now I guess he's IGLing again, is what we heard. Like, is that he took over the IGLing
Okay.
from Mako. So I think that's like that makes a lot more sense now to see like his numbers kind of drop that quickly, like because he's back to watching the map instead of his screen, like.
Definitely starting to go up and down, especially the IGLing.
Well,
Well, I mean, then the final
I
Korean team. Oh yeah,
I
just go
almost
on.
feel like DRX, their actual true test, aside from Boom, is going to be this upcoming playoffs game, because you could argue that like throughout the group stage run, they're hitting these teams in super inopportune moments for those teams. Like Gen.G wasn't feeling Gen.G, Paper Rex wasn't feeling like Paper Rex, and we know how Global and DFM are currently doing. So I don't know, like they might be 4-1 right now, but I'm almost kind of convinced that Gen.G, for me as a whole, might even be the better team than them, even though they lost a map more than DRX. They don't stand up against them like matchup wise, but when I'm looking on the opposite end of the bracket, I don't know. I feel like because DRX have been so wishy washy with who they play, as kind of Paper Thin mentioned, and now that obviously they let go of Flashback, or rather move him back down to the academy team. I'm just not sure how much their prep will hold up into the playoffs, especially going up against T1. So yeah, it almost seems like there's a lot of fortunate things that happened for them during unfortunate times where they couldn't find out what to do exactly. That makes them at least kind of bumped up their record a bit more than I would have initially. I would have assumed that they would end up middle of the pack, but no, they're second seed coming to this.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know. With all teams, it takes a bit more time to truly develop, I guess. So yeah, we'll also kind of keep an eye on that as everything continues forward. Um, but yeah, the final Korean team, and I think I actually want to pose this question to Ben. Nongshim Red Force, right? Because what do you think of their playstyle? How they're gonna play? How they're gonna fare in playoffs? They actually, I feel certain elements of like W Gaming Paper X in there just because of how Danby is sometimes. But that recent game against Zeta, they also, I don't know if restraint is the right word, but they definitely did better against Zeta. Any thoughts on Nongshim Red Force as a team?
I mean, last year when I was screaming them when they were still in like a
Challenge.
Ascension team,
Yeah.
I immediately knew that they are definitely going to win Ascension.
Absolutely.
Just based off like screaming them and how they play. Like there's no way they will lose. And I always thought that the playstyle that they had was it kind of did mirror how Paper X was at the start. But I feel like they're kind of adapting like really quickly to that. Like against Zeta like a few days ago, right? When they played on Split. Like it felt really, it was still aggressive, but I felt that it was planned a lot more. Like they were a lot more smarter with it. Yeah, and I just feel that they are putting in the work to try and like change themselves like faster than we tried to do it back in the day.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I still think that they need a bit more time. I don't think like we'll see a better Nongshim in like doing playoffs or something. But you'll see them be slightly better.
Okay, slightly better, but not exactly enough time to really improve that much, which is fair, I think. I don't know how Chobra's gonna feel about that, but yeah, definitely fair assessment. Um, Oh my god, that also kind of makes me think about Paper X. Do you think Paper X can improve? Like, will they have improved enough for playoffs? Will they get knocked out in this very first match?
I'll give
Everyone's
them the
just like, I
benefit
hear
of
crickets
a.
chirping.
I'll give them the benefit of a doubt and say that they'll win their first match in the lower bracket.
Ooh. So they're
Okay.
beating either DRX or T1.
Right.
Big app.
DRX, yes.
Big
Ah,
app.
DRX.
Actually,
Okay.
you
DRX.
actually don't know now. I feel like they could beat both of them because I don't feel like DRX and T1 aren't having the best time right now.
Mhm.
It's like, and you could actually see when Paper X were playing against DFM, they actually had a few rounds on defense where they actually waited and then retook together with Util. So they are trying. Like they are like
Trying.
Trying. Period.
Like, you can see the ideas there. It's a new play style,
Mhm.
but they're still Paper X.
Or wait, do they have to play someone who's not in their group? Are they going to do that
I'm
thing?
not sure actually. That's
I just started to realize this, that I might be a complete moron and it might not necessarily be.
right. It could be either Talon or Genji. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, it could be like a thing. I don't know. No, it has to be set, right? Like I'm surely Pacific
Probably.
released a bracket that actually explains this. Hold on. Yes, so they do play the match 2 loser no matter what. So they do play DRX or T1.
DRX
Okay.
T1.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I found it.
I would have liked to see the opposite, opposite group.
Yeah.
I think
That is weird.
that would have been a rematch. They have played against Genji already, or well, no.
Yeah, they played
Could be one way.
they were in Gen G and DRX's group, so it's it just depends on how it shakes out, right? Because the groups got mixed up for that first round.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that could happen for Paper X for sure. I don't know.
I think they could beat either of them. I know at their best they can beat anybody. Like there's no doubt about the skill on that team is quite good, and now
I
they're
see
playing the
Ben
roles.
smiling when you mention that.
I truly believe that though. I don't just think that's bullshit. I think like at their best they could beat anybody in the
For sure.
world.
But
Like,
they've
pretty
always
much.
been kind of like,
That.
this feels weird to say with Ben here, but they've always been kind of like plagued by something. You know, we always see Paper X making it to top 2, but right, like not quite beating EG or things like that. Like,
like if any team were to have the title of like this actually having a second place curse, it would be them.
yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like the amount of second places they've like all of us have gotten as a team.
I'm trying to think of
Surely
the other-
more than any other team.
I think
I'm trying
that
to
would
think.
be the record, yeah.
Like Fnatic. No.
You're checking
No,
if
but
Fnatic-
Fnatic won back to back like international
did.
events.
They
Like you
did.
can't really
Yeah, they did win.
like it's hard to find another team that's been quite as consistent at getting second.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
Because like a lot of teams that got like second like ended up winning events eventually, or like
Yeah.
or there's teams who just win events and then can't do anything else, like Sentinels. Like it's just like
Ooh, well, but they are the favorite teams still.
they are.
They're selling bundles, man. They're selling.
Yeah, they
bundles.
got Ben Affleck on their streams.
Yeah,
Like
they
I don't
did.
know, right? Fucking, they are the clout team for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, in the interest of time, I'm gonna keep it moving. Thoughts on Talon? I see Juandi giving us the key phrase: consistently inconsistent. Because it's
Wait,
win loss for them. So
yeah,
far,
so they're gonna lose in the first round then, right? Like
Yeah.
they're just doomed.
which means they
they're
would
doomed
have
to
to play
lose.
Nongshim.
It's a checkerboard for them.
And then they beat Nongshim. Yeah, that would make perfect sense. That's all according to plan. Yeah.
Mhm.
It is pretty mad that that's the entire year for them.
What is it? I
Why?
mean, well, okay. So far, yes.
Why, right?
Why?
Why?
That
How?
T1 win though. Come on, it was 2-0. That was
I
pretty
feel like
good.
I wonder, and I know Frost listens to this, so he's gonna let me know if I'm right or wrong later. But sometimes I wonder if maybe they almost overthink things sometimes. You know, like there's such a smart team, and I mean that like as in like they really are very considerate about like agent compositions and how to anti-strat and all that stuff. But sometimes I wonder if maybe that's just a little too much. I mean, you mentioned earlier, like there were circumstances against Zeta, right? Like that is what it is, and that sucks. And like that one I can chalk up to that. But like RQ, Gen G, T1, like they're all tough teams for sure, but they're all beatable, I think, for Talon. Like that Talon is tremendously talented, top to bottom. Like there's so many good players. Cruz is a great IGL. I think it's just consistency. New players too, like you're swapping in Governor and Ban for Killua and Tai, and so that's part of it, I'm sure. So consistency is going to be hard to find, but if they do find consistency, they are going to be very, very scary.
Well, speaking of, like the IGLing stuff, I mean, Ben, you were kind of talking about like if you were to prep for other teams to try to adapt, you kind of get into the opponent IGL's minds. You must have played Cruz a couple of, several times before in your career.
Maybe a few
And,
times.
yeah, right. Quite friendly with the Thai players, I think, most of us in Southeast Asia. How would you describe Cruz's IGLing, Ben?
Uh,
Or how would you kind of describe Talon right now? Just seeing how they play. I know there are some new players, but
I feel like they're still in the transition period. Transition period of like slowly getting everyone to gel together,
okay.
and it's already. I feel like it's starting to work already. I feel like this tracker little thingy isn't gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as for Cruz, I always thought like he was really methodical. Like back then when I was still playing against him and they were still under Xerxia and X10. I always thought that they were always like pretty cerebral with like the way that they picked apart like rounds last time. It was annoying to deal with. But right now I feel like it's adapted a bit but still kind of like kept that similar style. But I think now Talon has like the freedom of having more star power now compared to last time. So I think they have the freedom to like experiment with different kinds of play styles and be able to like take a bit more risks.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel like they're starting to find their footing with like the kind of play style that they want to stick with. Or at least they're almost getting to the point where they would be happy with like the way that they're playing right now. Like this is the kind of play style that they want to have.
Makes sense.
True, fair enough. I mean, we're seeing Primi do Primi.
He is
Everything.
God, when he is on, he is just so fucking good.
I had no idea he could, like,
It's not
do
fair,
YOLO like
man.
that.
It's not fair. He's that good. Like he's so consistent with his crosshair placement. Like that's the thing. Like above everything else that he does, which he has great reactions, a bunch of other stuff. His crosshair placement is the best on the planet. Like he just is always looking at the right place at the right time. Like, it's insane.
Hell, I think even 10 said the same thing, right? Like for an interview, like if there's one aim bro right now, it's Primi probably.
Yeah. Primi promo right there. So that's it for I think all the playoffs teams. What about the teams that didn't qualify, guys? Any thoughts on Zeta Global?
We got one. We got one.
You've been saving that for the whole time.
We got one. I would like to personally take credit here at YAP2ASIA for lighting a fire under the.
I mean, I think we should take credit for this win. I think we 100% were the instigators here.
Having a former player on being like, they gotta step up and giving them flame.
They gotta change their agent comps. Look what they did.
They
Dub said it.
They
Yeah, and then
said
Jesse
it.
Vash was like, God, W said that about me? Fuck, he's right. I gotta play.
Yeah.
The whole time he was clutching in that round, he just remembered Duffy on this podcast.
Dude, that Ghost 3K was one of the sickest things I've ever seen. That was absolutely ridiculous. And like the fact that he smiled afterwards, like
yeah.
That like you
That's why
knew
you
that
know
one
shit is
was-
good.
Because Jesse does not smile, right? Like,
Felt
he-
that one.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
man.
funny because he smiles quite a bit, like off camera.
Yeah,
He's
true.
quite a nice guy, and but like he doesn't smile when he's playing. He's just kind of like even his fist bumps are like very half-hearted. He's
Like
just
very
kinda
stoic. He's just a very
Yeah.
stoic guy in game. Like
Yeah.
after that clutch, he was just like, that was satisfying.
Grabs it off the top
Here
of the
it is.
box.
Okay, look
This
at
is-
it. Smiling.
this is
Jeremy
bonkers,
driving forward,
dude.
Finds the shorty pump there.
I mean, you even hear me say it in the clip
Even
where I'm
more
just like, no
damage is
way.
dealt. Jesse Bash.
Yeah, this is like,
No
come on.
shot. No way. In hell. Down to the last bullet.
And it pulls up
He
the
dropped
smite
the
hammer.
pistol, but who gives
Yeah.
a damn? Zayden grabs it off the top of the
Of
box.
course, it's with a
he's-
pistol as well, right?
He's still got it, man. Fucking 34 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I remember when Ben was running Smite Phantom at some point too.
Why?
Why not?
All right. Well, I mean, yeah. So that's secret. What about
Look,
Zeta DFM?
I'll just mull it a little bit. I mean, Zeta. Look again. Another team that faced unfortunate circumstances with
Tenten,
Depp
though.
getting injured. Look, he looks good. I think like when I watched the VODs of 1010 before the match, like he's on T1. He was on T1 Academy, and T1 Academy loaned him out, right? So I went back and watched some other matches. I think the thing that impressed me the most about 1010 was how much of a team player he was as a duelist. Like he's not a guy who's going to go out there and bait. He's not a guy who's going to throw his teammates under the bus so we can have like a huge round. Like he's going to be where he needs to be when he needs to be there, or when the team wants him there, I should say. And if he has to clutch up, yeah, of course he's going to, we saw that Neon 3K he had on Lotus. That was pretty sick. But I think he's a very solid player. He's a very good opper, like his brother. So that's a huge boon because Depp isn't an opper. He's really not using it. I think he's only grabbed the op in like 3 total rounds this year. So that opened up a lot of the game plan and it made their Pearl a lot more tenable against Nongshim, where that's a map that Nongshim, by the way, hadn't lost yet this year.
Tenable.
Haha! Ooh, I didn't even think about it. Oh, black and blue. Oh, it's so good. How did I not realize?
Of course.
And well, just to throw another one in the hat, we definitely did have Akame got killed.
Yes, he was pounding.
Against
I mean,
Reaper.
that was. I mean, it
Tough
sucked.
loss, but
It
yeah.
sucks because they can't get a game where either him and May are both having great performances, right?
And you
Like,
kind of need both, like, to be activated.
You do. You
Because
can't.
that's when
Like,
they did.
because
beat
Jinboong and
Reapers
Art are
with
not
that
playing
score.
well at all. Like
Yeah.
Jinboong and Art are like 2 of the top 5 worst rated players in Pacific, and so like you can't have that. It's just there's too much going on behind those two. Like I wouldn't if I'm DFM, I'm probably rebuilding that team around Akame and May and just seeing what happens because those two are good enough that they should be able to carry the franchise for a couple years. And then just trying to figure it out behind that. Maybe get Zenfree out of retirement again for DFM to IGL for you or something, or
I mean, Benkai, do you speak Japanese? You know,
they could use a coach too, Benkai.
Coach
Hey,
Benkai.
You never know. Carlisle is coaching for Zeta, and that kind of works out. They just
does.
translate things over.
They look
Maybe
pretty solid.
DFM Benkai. Could be
Has
a
a ring
thing.
to it.
What about Global Esports? Oh, yeah, Zeta guy.
Oh, dude, Zeta guy. Well, look at this. They have me and Seth on their watch party on their
I
table.
know. They have the whole
Wait, what?
What does
It-
it say?
This
There's
was
like a caption to it.
What's the video say?
I forgot. It was on Twitter
Uh,
also.
Oh, what did that one say? That one wasn't. They had one that was just me with like a Japanese flag on my head. I did. Yeah, you can find this.
Juan
because it's-
enhance.
There it is.
Oh,
Oh,
there we
there-
go.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
unite.
we unite.
With a Zeta jersey.
That's right.
Neatly
I don't.
photoshopped.
They gotta get me a Zeta jersey, bro. I don't have one yet.
You don't have one?
No, I only have like a flag and socks and some like I have like a whole grab bag. Hold on.
Bro, with the way you've been glazing Zeta and DFM this whole, past 4 years, I would have thought you'd had like Zeta boxers by now.
I wish I'd wear them. But I'd show you if I had Zeta boxers. I'd take my pants off and show you right now.
He just has
We
the
can.
body pillow of Les on his bed.
I could, yeah, I
I
could do
feel
that.
like that
So
exists
this
somewhere.
is what is this? This is a keychain. They actually
Oh.
gave me actual like just Ziploc bags that just say Zeta Division.
That's a
So
thing.
yeah.
Ziploc bags.
I'd use
There's
it
like
for a sandwich, you know.
stickers. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is in here? That's a bag. These are more Ziploc bags. Yep. So why not? And then like more stickers. They gave me a lot of stickers.
Oh, yeah.
I need stuff to put stickers on. I don't really have it. And then more keychains. But yeah, the socks and the and the flag, like the
It was Zeta flag.
yeah. So it's like a whole Zeta win flag.
Okay.
Ah.
This I like. This I really like. This is really nice.
You know what's
Wow.
great about Zeta is they're one of the only orgs as well that their logo is completely typable by chat.
Oh,
Just
right.
let chat, you know.
They spam it.
See,
Like
like
the-
quotation mark
yeah,
slash
quotation
slash
mark, slash
yeah.
comma, and work.
Yeah,
It works.
I like that.
It
They're
work.
great.
Love it.
They're really. I mean, the org is really nice. Like
Great
they've
branding.
always, yeah. I've gone
Yeah,
out to
they
dinner
live
with
in
them a
the
couple
Jersey.
times. Yeah, I need DFM and Zeta jerseys.
Especially
That's
with your name across the back. They need to do one.
well, I'm gonna try to go to one of those Zeta watch parties next stage.
Hey.
Like before we go to Japan. I'm gonna see if I can get myself to one of those and on a day
See.
off. It's only a
Definitely.
2-hour flight over there.
All right. Well, we should touch on global real quick. You know, any thoughts? Darian, Singaporean, he was doing a little bit better, but at the end of the day, I think it's the whole. I don't know. It's rough.
Ben, what's
They've been through,
happening?
like a really
Yeah.
rough situation.
I don't. Global are just so talented at finding people that at either ends of the spectrum. Like they can be either Monyet texture, or they can be like someone that I don't really have to name that was in a little scandal earlier.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
I don't know. I feel like I'm convinced that they are cursed with bad luck.
for the year so far.
No, even the last 2 years, they've always had visa problems.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't even get a Patrick Hu in until like late, like maybe halfway into the season. So that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I don't know about their performance right now. I'm not really sure about why they don't want to put Patrick Hu in. I feel like even regardless, even if the reason is because he's not that experienced yet and Darren has the edge over him, I feel like if you think you brought in Patrick Hu and you advertise him to be like this crazy, like the next up and coming star, right? You need to give him that space to grow and to
Yeah.
learn. And you're just not really doing that for him right now.
They have to accept. You think they have to accept that like they're probably gonna have some bad games with him. Patrick Hu's probably gonna have some bad games, but they have to work through those, you know, early on to get him that experience to play at that level.
Yeah, definitely. Like you need to give your stars like some space to grow, you know. Like even at the start, something was also a bit shaky.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yep, his first match was not good for something.
Yeah,
So
so
we'll
you
see.
gotta trust the process.
Trust the process.
As
Very
cliche as
true.
it sounds.
I agree.
Oddly enough, it's true. So hopefully we'll see more from Global for stage 2 when that begins.
Yeah.
But that's it for those teams.
Oh,
Real quick,
God.
shall we just run like predictions based off of the opening?
Wait.
game?
Joandi wants us to look at our
tier list. That's right.
our
Tier
tier list
list.
before the stage and how did we do?
We're gonna
so
update
far.
it. Okay.
Oh, are we gonna update the tier list? Is that our plan now?
I do believe yes.
Whatever.
Did it
That
change
boom
much at all?
rating is crazy.
Yeah, we
Now that you look at it, the boom
We
rating
kinda-
is crazy.
everybody kind of missed
Yeah.
on Boom.
I mean, who would have? I don't even think Boom expected The boom.
Honestly,
you know?
comparing kickoffs to now, it's just so different.
I swear, if you called Gary on the phone right now and asked him if he thought they'd go undefeated in the group stage, like he'd probably say no.
No, he probably doesn't even know it. He's like, what? They did?
Well, do we shift them up to like
Oh,
can they win Pacific or champs or
they're the
Yeah.
best team in Pacific right
do we
now. I
think they
think.
can make champs or maybe masters?
I think they can make
Masters.
Masters for sure.
For sure.
But
So we
will they
should-
continue to the second split of this year like this? It's a question. It's a big question.
Should we
It is.
bump them up to could win VCT Pacific?
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Straight up moved forward.
I still don't see any other Pacific team winning champs aside from T1 this year. Frankly.
Fair enough.
I
think
kind of feel the same. I think T1 is probably the only one that has the pedigree to really win a champs. I think.
Oh, I'd put Talon up here in the I'd
Oh,
move him
okay.
up the tier. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're dropping DFM all the way down to the bottom.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
Yikes.
That's-
All right,
that's
we'll
fun.
get that out of the way.
I think Zeta deserved a hopium, especially for that last series they played. They had a chance, you know.
Yep.
They deserve a hopium.
What about global though, Ben?
Ooh.
Question mark or hopium or
I think I'll hit them with a question mark.
that's fair. Honestly, it's just you never know what's gonna happen. Maybe next stage is another
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. What about Paper X, Ben? also Ben. Stay or
I think they did. Oh my god, they barely scraped by,
right?
and even against DFM, it was extremely close. And I would dare say that DFMs were supposed to take that series.
Do we move DFM up, guys? Or
No.
I think DFM should still be there.
They're broken right now.
I still think that they're playoff contenders.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in
But I think
agreement?
they're probably the bottom of the playoff contenders. Like of all the
Mm.
like the teams, you probably move them over to the far right. Yeah.
That's fair.
I would have put them in dark horses because knowing their first matchup has to be either DRX or T1, that's a big ask. And then at that point, then you're a dark horse, you know, from the lower bracket all the way up.
That's fair. I think that's probably fair. Are they worse than Nongshim? Like,
I don't think so.
is the big question.
I
You think
don't
they're
think
better than Nongshim?
I think they have better highs
Yes.
than Nongshim for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Nongshim. I feel like Paper X definitely understands the way that Nongshim plays.
So you think if they played each other, like
Personal.
Paper X is gonna have a pretty good edge against him?
Yeah.
What about Genji and RQ? I think those are the only ones.
I think you
feel like
gotta
they're-
flip them, maybe.
Yeah.
just flip. We don't move
Just flip
RQ up
'em.
a tier at all.
I don't. I'm
No.
not ready to do it yet.
Okay.
No.
I'm still nervous.
Like they're the top seed, but literally everybody in that group is 3-2. So, you know.
Do you agree, Ben?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like this is it then. It's kind of similar to how everything is. What it reflects a group. standing.
I might consider moving. I'm gonna throw something out there before we close it down. I might consider moving Talon ahead of Genji. I'm starting to feel that way, but I could just be like on the. They look so good the last time they played, and they're gonna go right back to losing the next game.
Recency bias.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be recency bias. Yeah. Any thoughts?
I would like to, because you know, all thigh, yay. But I'm holding off on the thought for now.
Okay, so we'll still keep them behind Genji. Okay.
What do you think, Ben?
I think that's fair. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, part of me feels like they are starting to get better.
Any
Yeah, and I feel
final
like
other
they're gonna break that. They're gonna break that little
hurdle?
red and green
Running.
streak.
Running.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
I think it's only a matter of time with Talon.
Okay then. No final.
So do
moves?
we?
No other.
Are we?
moves?
So then we're saying we're sending T1 DRX Boom to Toronto.
Yes. For me.
Okay.
I see Ben has a slight reaction. It's kind of like, really?
Are we?
Like, if we were, I don't know, like if we're talking about who I think can,
Because Toronto and Champs is very different, guys. So
yeah, like who I think would perform
Alright.
better at Toronto, I feel like talent will do better than RRQ. That's my personal opinion.
okay,
If you were to send both teams to Toronto right now,
okay, right now.
yeah.
I can see that.
I might not disagree. Yeah. Talon's going to catch people off guard. Like when they play them internationally, like nobody's going to be ready for their just individual skill is so high.
True enough. I
Killer
also
was just
still kind of feel like the experience factor, something that they do need to, like, it'll grow with time. Also, still.
For sure.
maybe a
cr-
champs run for them.
I'm starting to feel like they just might qualify for champs again. I mean that
Yeah.
they're starting to look really good. And you got Cruz there to just kind of keep the ship steady. You know?
This is beginning to sound like we need to put Talon on top of Genji. What do you guys think?
I don't know if I'll like go that far, but like
Really?
Yeah.
Because I mean, okay, we are saying there's only like 4 teams that go to champs, and if it's T1, if Booms go in there, DRX are going there, we can't have both Genji and Talon.
But
It's
I
true.
mean, Genji is in the same boat. I think where like they still need some time. The breakup was hard.
Okay.
Maybe next split, things will figure
Maybe.
things out.
Okay, so it's still kind of 50-50 between Genji and Talon. Time will reveal how everything shapes up. But for
It's not-
now, all in agreement. This is the final tier list that we have.
for now.
Any other changes, Ben? Anything?
I'm good. I'm happy with this.
Okay. Okay.
there a
Not
tier
gonna
lower
knock
for
Paper
global?
X down into Hopium or anything.
I think that's where Paper X fans are for sure.
Yeah.
True.
I don't think I think the team's still a little bit better than what they're showing. They should
Okay.
be.
All right. Fair enough. I feel like this is where we are. Shall we move into our pick'ems a little bit? Just for
We're
the
doing
opening.
predictions. See,
Yeah.
then we're gonna screw this bracket up. We're gonna get done with the pick'ems and be like, shit.
Fuck.
Or at least just for the opening matches, right? I mean,
Yeah. Let's
two
do
of
the
them.
openers. Yeah.
All right.
There's only
DRX,
two.
T1, Talon, Genji, guys. Oh boy.
I still feel like T1 beats DRX here. But because I think T1's gonna learn from getting beat a couple times,
Mhm.
and they're just gonna kind of be like, okay, well, on certain maps like Icebox, we either just need to ban it or
Or
just
change the comp.
or change the comp again. But there's just too much. God, there's just too much talent on that team. I just feel like they're gonna kind of realize this week that we're better than this, and they're gonna get it figured out.
I
agree.
Yeah, I kind of agree as well. Any thoughts, Ben?
I agree.
T1?
I'm happy with
Okay.
that. I think
We'll
T1.
just kind of go with T1.
Straight up.
Talon, Genji.
Oh,
Ooh.
This is tough, right? See, this
I'll-
is kind of
I'll-
what we were discussing a little
Fucking
bit
no.
earlier on.
I'm sticking to my guns. I'm gonna say Talon. I think
I
Talon
like
will
that.
take it.
Fuck it.
I'm a
like,
Talon
yeah.
supporter too. Hey, black and blue.
I
you
have
can't-
no
you can't
idea
not
who's
say
winning this
Talon.
game.
What do you mean?
I'm actually excited for this game because I truly have no idea what will happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going into this match like if I was casting it, like feeling like I had a good idea of what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
So this one would be fun to cast. Like I just have no fucking idea.
That's a
a
50-50
true
right
50-50,
Yeah.
right?
Which is
Okay, but
great
so-
because on the panel or on the cast, you guys can say any fucking thing and it's true.
Yeah. I could go in there and literally just make crap up and it'd be right. Like
It's a 50-50. So never wrong.
that's what I'm gonna say it for sure. 100%.
True
I think I'm
that.
casting this, but I'm
I
not sure.
actually think you are.
I think I am.
But that does give us Genji, Nongshim.
I think we stick with that for now because
Oh, it was just kind of like leave it here and
I mean we
see.
could pick a few others if you want to just go through the whole thing. We could.
Yeah, fuck it. So we
Then-
don't have hindsight, you know.
All right, yeah, fuck yeah, who cares?
And then we'll revisit this.
Yeah, and then just see how wrong we were.
Whatever.
See how wrong we are.
Can't wait.
Like a week or two.
Okay. Yeah. Thoughts, Genji and Nongshim? Ben, anything?
I still think Genji has the upper hand against Nongshim.
Probably
Yeah,
Oh.
I agree.
Most likely.
still experienced enough.
I have a hard time thinking. I mean, yeah, it's like Margaret played great, Dombi plays great, but like I don't think they're going to be able to hold up against like Foxy 9, like just standing on a site and just knocking players down. I don't think he's as susceptible to some of their BS.
Yeah, but DRX
Fair
PRX
enough.
though.
Okay, yes.
That's the
I
one.
don't know.
We need
I
to
don't
put
know.
That's the one.
Ben in the hot seat for that one. You've
Yeah,
played against,
Eh.
you've been in that exact spot so many times, Ben.
Yeah, but they don't have that mental block against DRX anymore. So, and I
And
did
it's
say
also
that
a very different DRX.
they'll at least win one in the lower. So I'm pretty sure. I
They
see it
will
happening.
at least win one. So that means Paper X should win.
Yes, they.
Alright.
I feel like they'll take it against DRX.
Clinton?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you're shaking your head.
I think DRX actually might win this, but I don't know. I'm fine going with Paper X here. I really don't care that much. It's such a bullshit match that like it's a one and done. Like it just
What?
it feels bad that it has to be that way, right? Like especially for Paper
Ah.
X. So I say go for Paper X. Just why not? I'll let you Southeast Asians have it.
Yeah, thank you. I
It
appreciate
feels
that.
kind of.
Thanks.
you
It feels kind of
Korean.
sad and like it's so hard to judge this because none, apart from Boom, none of the other teams. I personally feel like none of the other teams are actually really
Yeah.
like fully prepared. You know, and it's like
Yeah.
some
But
kind of
that's
thing
what
that's
makes this
fucking up their
pick'ems
prep.
fun.
Yeah.
That's why we have fun with this, because it's unpredictable as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that means Boom definitely beating Talon then, at least.
I think so.
Forward. Yeah, boom forward.
Okay. Boom
I think you could
forward.
just move Boom right into the grand final. I don't even care who they play out of that T1 match.
Johnny's like, hell yeah.
I don't even
I'm
care.
clicking this. You didn't even ask me
There's a
twice.
world where maybe T1 beats them, but I just Boom looks. too damn
I'm
cool.
almost afraid
I
that
would love
Boom
to see
make
that
it to the
match,
grand
actually.
final, but fizzle out in the grand final itself and probably lose
I don't.
too.
I mean, a best of 5 actually might be problematic for them. That's a good point.
Good point.
But they did. But they look good against Nomi or Shin Prizo last year. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Well, they
you
also
know,
had home crowd, but
that's true.
RQT1 at least. This is a bit of a rematch as well.
T1.
T1?
Yeah.
Probably.
I think
Okay.
I think after the week long break, they probably figured their shit out too.
Refresh. Fair enough. Well then, well, okay. That
I
would
think
mean
Boom
T1
wins the
100%.
first. Boom wins the first matchup,
Yeah,
and then
I
T1
think-
come back through the lower bracket to beat them.
I think that would probably be
Oh.
the way it goes. Yeah. I would agree.
Okay. Okay. Well, then for the lower bracket, who are we sending to Toronto now? RQ Genji.
Ben.
Just Ben.
Give him the hot ones.
Ooh. I'd say Genji.
He does have his
It
Genji.
feels like Genji to me.
It's the RRQ kryptonite. Genji.
Based off of historical matchups.
I hate to say it. I would love to see RRQ win this. Like I would really like to see them win this match.
Oh,
It would
God.
be such a
I
good.
want to say RQ though. Really? Why Genji? Ben, actually?
I think RRQ should win this match. I'm worried about just the weird mental stuff that happens to them sometimes, and the whole thing just melts.
But then the same mental thing can be applied to Genji. If Genji don't have
Yeah.
their shit together by then, if Foxy Knight's not able to, or
That's
they're not
true.
able to do the lurk thing that they want, I feel like Jemkin,
Well,
Xfero, as a crew, right now, especially with Cushy in the team, they can play pretty well, I feel.
They should be the better team, probably.
Like on paper. That's kind of always been the thing about RQ also. Theoretically, they also seem like they have the right pieces.
Yep.
But some games.
I hope they've got the sort of, curse lifted off of them. Like I hope. They should be the favorite team here. I'll say that.
I'm fine with putting RQ forward, frankly.
Okay.
Actually, what are your thoughts on Crazy Guys and IGL, Ben? I think that's kind of what it comes down to a little bit as well.
From what I've heard, his IGLing, like his style, is very micromanagey. He micromanages a lot, like literally tells the entire team and each person what to do for that round. And I feel like in a tense situation, or if your game plan isn't working out, that style of calling can crumble really quickly. And I feel that Munchkin has been in a position where he's had to calm himself down and think of different ways to counter whatever is happening, So I'm not sure if something starts to go wrong for RRQ. I'm not sure if Crazy Guy can adapt his style of calling to like try and fix whatever issue is going on. But I feel like Munchkin possesses that experience and knowledge to be able to keep calm in that kind of situation when his calling doesn't work.
That's actually very true. I can
Sure.
see. Yeah, I can follow that. I think we changed that to Genji then.
All right, let's do it.
I am 100% convinced just off of what Ben said.
I'm looking forward to my DMs from you walking warbirds. Yep, let's do it.
We shall see. Okay. Yeah, actually, that might be a thing. Experience also does play a factor. Well, Talon Paper X then. Oh God. Talon Paper X.
Once again to Ben.
No, I'm not. I am not taking this one, man. Okay,
Straight up deflecting.
based off logic, I said they would only win one, so I'm gonna say that Talon's gonna win this one.
Wait, so Talon.
God, actually.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think Talon probably wins. I think Talon's just a little bit better right now.
I shall remove myself from this discussion. Black and blue. You'll be the tiebreaker.
We see why Sleepy's not here now,
That's true.
He didn't want to have to choose between Talon and Paper X.
But what are
It's
you gonna
really-
choose?
There's no way to guess, man.
Talon
That
is
is
the
true.
better team right now, like frankly. Well, do they have
Right
the
now.
higher highs in Paper X? No, but they're more in their inconsistency. There is a shred of consistency in that in and of itself. So
That's true. And I think that
you
also
know.
follows the win-loss trend. They're gonna beat Genji, they're gonna lose to Boom, they're gonna win
Yeah,
against Paper X.
yeah, and then they're gonna lose against Genji.
Okay, well that's where we come to this. Who is the third team that makes it to Masters? Toronto.
Are we worried that it's just going to be more Korean teams? Just like
Fine. We got Boom the grand final. Like, who cares about that? It's just
well, we got Boom this time, but there's just that thing, dude. These Korean teams, like when it matters, they just kind of get their shit together and they just play better than their opponents. Like they're just more prepared and like their mental's better.
I feel like
I'd go Genji here, as much as it pains me to say it.
You know what my hot take is?
please.
That Boom doesn't even win in the upper final.
You think T1 would beat him?
Based off what you just said, I think T1's gonna get their shit together out of nowhere. Buzz is gonna start popping off like crazy, and they're gonna beat Boom over there. And then
I think I could see
will-
that happening actually.
Yeah,
And
Actually,
then-
yeah. For the remainder of all these like upper finals, lower finals, you could make a case for either one. Like Boom could also make it through back to grand final. So yeah, it could happen.
I mean, even from the get go, like the lower bracket could just be DRX, not even Paper X all the way, bro.
That's also true.
It's so hard to predict Pacific this year. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Everybody's so good. Like
We
it's just
gotta do our jobs, guys.
I know. And this is like the hardest year. Like 2023 was cake. My predictions were just Easy,
Yep.
easy. Just walked in
Genji.
every day, and I knew what the fuck was gonna happen. And now I'm just
Yep.
like, I walk in, and I'm just like, I have no idea. Good luck. Good luck out there.
That's what makes
And
it
then we're
fun.
gonna but then we're gonna stomp Masters. That's all that matters.
Hell yeah. That's what makes this fun. Okay. Ooh, Genji Talon. We back the Korean team thing. They're just gonna get their shit together. Final decision. I think Nico, you're the tiebreaker.
Wait, we're talking T1 Genji.
Genji Talon.
Genji
Genji
Talon.
Talon.
Genji Talon first.
You trying to get me in trouble, Quack? No.
No, not at all. Legit,
No,
just
I still stand by why I think is going to happen for Talon for the year is that playoffs, okay run this split, and then next split they make a run for champs.
Okay.
next split.
Yeah.
So this is the Genji time.
Genji time.
Okay. I mean, based off of what we're seeing and feeling,
T1.
sure. I think that can, it still is kind of 50-50, but yes, just based off the experience that Genji has. But yeah, lower finals, then T1, and we have
T1.
that
And then
grand
T1
final.
wins again because
T1 wins again.
Well, they win this time. I should say they lost
Yeah.
to DRX, but last time. But I think this time they'll probably get it together, unless there's some weird mental collapse behind the scenes, like where the players get mad at each other or something. I don't know.
Back then
That-
was Sylvan, but
Yeah,
Success didn't
Sylvan
have that
took a
shit
lot of
together.
I went and watched that 2-hour documentary they put together,
Yeah.
and man, Sylvan was a punching bag.
He
Like,
was
good
like, oh,
God.
shit. Autumn was giving him a
Holy
talk.
fuck. I was like, I don't know. I didn't realize his smokes were that bad. Like, what? But then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah.
And then he
They
had the
were a little
1v5 ace clutch.
Yep. And then his smokes were way better. He had some really good ones that I noticed during the finals. So I was like,
Confident.
holy shit.
Was there a punching bag on the team, Ben? When you were on? Like,
Not really. I wouldn't say so. Like super early on, it would have been Tommy. He was getting a lot of flack. It was undeserved.
He's
But-
back there now as the manager. So
Yeah, he's a
He's-
manager now. It came full
he's just
circle.
there to take
Now
on
he can dish it out now.
True that.
Okay.
All
so
right, I think that's it.
what we're doing. All right. T1 it is.
T1 it is.
T1.
Any violent objections?
No. Okay. Wow. I see
Nothing.
everyone agrees
Nah.
with this.
I'm fine with it.
There we have it. Screenshot it. That's gonna be a thumbnail. Not quite. Any final thoughts, guys? I think we've kind of covered everything. We're very confident T1 and Boom. A little bit shaky on Talon and Genji, but that's fair. We'll see how things go. But yeah. Any final thoughts? Any final words? Shout
I think-
outs, Ben?
I think we're doing good this international event. Pacific as a whole.
I agree with that.
I think
That
we're gonna
agree
get
with.
some good games from Pacific.
Yeah, I was there to
Yeah.
watch that Bangkok. It's a good time. It's nice
Certainly fun.
seeing Pacific do.
Were you at the finals, Ben?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was watching the finals.
That was so loud in there, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah.
There's some
Crazy.
content as well, which is always fun to see. Yeah. But hey, I mean, once again, Ben's looking for coaching opportunities.
Hire this man.
That's
Someone
not the
let this
important
guy-
point here. The
Yeah.
important point, if we've learned anything from this interview, is that Big Time is a bitch.
And with that, we're gonna end this episode. Big Time is a bitch. Morgan, Big Time J. Okay. Yeah.
He's so small. He calls himself big time.
Had to
Got a good
compensate
point.
somewhere.
You got a good point.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Always
we'll
made fun
see.
of him for living in the Shire.
The Shire. Perhaps we'll get him on for the next episode to have some.
Hey, we should. We might need to get him on to have a rebuttal here. Yeah.
Alright. I think on that note we can end it here. Big Time's a bitch. It's been a pleasure having Benkai on. Rehashing everything from the past and also looking forward to the future, especially with Pacific and how great we're gonna do in Masters Toronto. That's gonna age well. So that's been it. Thank you everyone for watching YAP2ASIA episode 11. It's been us all here with YAP2ASIA and also Benkai joining. Thank you everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Wait, where do we catch
you.
us? Spotify. Bilibili. That's
Billy
right. Yeah.
Billy,
You got
Billy,
it.
that's right.
Bilibili. We'll see everyone on the next one, and we'll probably talk up China a little bit as well. Bye.
Bye.